Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today I'm going to be answering your YouTube questions. So if you have a question about what it is that you are doing on YouTube, go ahead and put it in the form that is down in the description of this live stream right now. And as long as we get to it, we're going to try to get to it here in the live stream, and I'm answering them in the order that they're received, and there's hardly any questions at all in there right now. So if you have a question, get it in there right now, okay? So with that out of the way, if you are watching this on the replay, I do want to let you know that this live stream, you'll be seeing it as a video, is jam-packed with YouTube information, YouTube content that will help you grow your channel, get more subscribers, and just understand a lot of the things around being a content creator, because a lot of the questions that you might have about all of these things surrounding YouTube are probably answered here during the live stream. As you can see by the timestamp, it's a pretty long thing. So I encourage you to just skip around the stream, and hone in on the particular parts that are, that resonate the most with you, and then, continue on from there. So I also want to let you know that this stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 browser plugin for YouTube content creators. TubeBuddy will help you optimize your videos for discovery. TubeBuddy will help you test your thumbnails to make sure that the thumbnails that you are using are effective for the people that you are trying to reach. They help you do all types of management things on the background. For example, they have a feature called bulk updates. What bulk updates are is if you need to go in, you need to change a link across all of your video descriptions, or you need to change an in-screen element or a card or something like that, you can do those sorts of things within TubeBuddy as well. So it's an awesome tool. It's made for content creators. So you are a YouTuber, install it free at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin. Now, I also want to let you know that this stream is co-sponsored by StreamYard. I'm rocking their super comfortable hoodie right now, but it's co-sponsored by StreamYard. Now, StreamYard is the live streaming service that I use every single Saturday to stream this live stream. And as you can see, it's rock solid, right? It's literally the easiest thing that I've ever used to live stream. They make it to where you can easily bring in guests with just a few clicks. You can add graphics to your live stream as well. For example, in this situation, I clicked one time, and then now my podcast information is on the screen as well, right? So you can add all kinds of things really easily to your live stream, but you can do this yourself, even if you have a bad computer. And what I mean by that is if your computer just sucks, then you can still stream and make your live streams look professional using StreamYard, because they do all the heavy lifting in the cloud so that you don't have to have a strong computer. You can even use it and do all this stuff on your mobile device as well. So you can check that out at StreamYard.com. I got links for everything down in the description below, of course. So you can just go down there. If you don't want to worry about, trying to get the name right and all that, you can just go down and click those links, and then you'll go right through. So with all of that out of the way, I hope that you've had an awesome week. I hope that you practiced or worked on some of the things that, that we had talked about last week during the stream, so that you can be ready to get some more information, to learn more about, about all of this stuff, so you can apply it to your channel, so you can get those gains, which is ultimately what we are trying to help you do here. So really quick, I just want to give a shout out to Doug Hewson. What's up, dude? Hope that you are fantastic. Doug saying that he can't wait until winter to rep his StreamYard hoodie. Yeah, it's like 1,000 degrees outside here, but air conditioning. So, so I got it covered in here. I don't need winter time. I create my own winter. So, so that's what's going on here in the room. Mr. Camera Junkie, what's up, man? Hope that you're doing fantastic. And the question was, is this shot right here a GoPro? Yes, it is a GoPro. So that particular shot right there, I'm just trying to, keep it fresh, change it up for you guys so that, so you can see the setup and things like that, because I get questions about that a lot. So just trying to keep it, keep it all fresh and all of that good stuff. So here's what went down. So as you can see, I've got this thing going on in the background, right? Which it looks like it might have reset. But anyway, I got this thing going on in the background. And with this thing that's going on in the background, the funny thing is, typically, and I'm going to make an adjustment here really quick, but typically with this thing in the background, I have a different computer that I'm using for it. And with that particular computer, I got hit with a Windows update. So with that Windows update, I'm just kind of stuck, so to speak. And I'm running all this off of a tablet right now. So that's what's going on. Okay, so let's get into this party. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started quickly. Is that what they say? I don't know. It's been a while. Okay, so our very first question today comes from Fit Pro VR. Volume's going on here. I want to feel that too. Super chat. There we go. Says, hey, Nick, love and listen to all of your comments. Love the podcast. Is there a minimum number of subscribers I should have before doing a live stream? It depends on your perspective and what it is that you're trying to do. So I always like to put disclaimers in there because everybody that's watching is different. And I don't want somebody to say like, oh, this means that I should do X, Y, Z. So if what you're trying to do ultimately is grow a community around what it is that you're doing, it's not necessarily the subscriber count that you have. It is the people that keep coming back to your channel that will participate in your live streams. So what I recommend is to try it, right? Try going live. And as long as you get some people in there, 2 people, 3 people that you can hang out with, that's your opportunity to start building that community. But if you don't have a lot of people coming in there yet, one thing that I want you to make sure that you're keeping in mind is that while you're live, there's the live experience, like what we do here, like what we're doing right now, to where you can ask a question. I can interact with you directly right now. However, for the people that are going to watch this on the replay, it's going to be a totally different experience for them because they will have missed the live experience. And for all of you that are watching this on the replay, join us next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. But anyway, when it comes to the live experience versus the replay experience, if you don't have a lot of viewers, then in that case, stream for the replay. Still interact a little bit with your viewers, but you want to make sure that when your live stream first starts, that you're grabbing attention, letting people know what it is that you're going to be talking about in that particular stream. And then you get through the content of the live stream itself. Also try to keep it a little bit shorter than you might normally do if you had a bunch of people hanging out and watching. And the reason for that as well is because it makes the stream easier to consume for somebody that maybe hasn't been introduced to you before, somebody that's never experienced your content, or they don't really know what it is that you do, but they just happen to click on that one thumbnail that showed up on their homepage. And since they clicked on that thumbnail that showed up on their homepage, they come in, bam, give them a good experience on the replay. And then that will give you the opportunity to earn that person as a subscriber so that you can start building your community that way. And then, again, when you do have people coming into the streams, of course, some interaction that you can do there with them is always a plus and encouraged, of course, when people are hanging out in the live stream. Next up on our list, Super Chat. We've got Chad B says, thanks for all your great advice. It really helps, Chad B. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the Super Chat. Glad that you are enjoying the content. Luria Live Streaming Pros says, be intentional about your content. Absolutely, without question. Shark Scrapper, what is up? Saying, welcome to the Nimminati Euro coin. So we are going to go ahead and drop that one here.
Welcome to the Nimminati
Euro coin hunt. So look, we have a members only Facebook group. You want to be a part of this Facebook group. You are a channel member already, so you're in the clear. Okay. So what you have to do is next time you get the chance, go to Facebook, look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. Make sure you fill out all the questions on the way in because I verify that you're a channel member on the way in. So make sure that you fill out, all the information on the way in. And we also do members only live streams there every Wednesday. Sometimes it'll be Monday, sometimes Wednesday, but I'll stick to a day for a while. Right now we're on Wednesdays. But basically with the live stream, one of the things that we're doing in there is we're looking at channels or just giving direct feedback on like a specific question that you might have. So if you want a second set of eyeballs as just like a first impression type of thing, when I look at your channel, then make sure there's one post in the announcements. I think it's announcement number 7 in the group right now. Make sure that you find that announcement and you drop a link to your channel and let me know the specific feedback that you're wanting, so that I can go ahead and get you in the queue so that we can, get that looked at as well. So welcome to the Nimminati. Next up, we've got is pre-built says, hey Nick, whenever I use premieres, my videos do really badly. What is an appropriate time and channel size to use premieres? Love your content, by the way. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the super chat. And when it comes to the premieres, it's not necessarily, of course, when you have an audience already and you do a premiere, then those people can come in, they can interact with what it is that you're doing, and you can chat with them, while the video is premiering. But at the highest level of all of this, if you're like, hey, when I do a premiere, my videos do really bad, then I would avoid premieres for a while. And the reason I would avoid premieres for a while is if you have a track history of people just not responding to your premieres, they're not coming in and hanging out, and they are performing poorly because of it, then in that situation, just don't do it for a while. And it's not necessarily that there's an appropriate time and an appropriate channel size. You just need, when those notifications go out, you do not necessarily need, but you want people to come in and hang out with you, during that premiere. So because of that, just make sure that that if you are doing the premieres, that you avoid doing them if it's hurting the performance of the content. But just, you know, in terms of the channel size, kind of back on the live streaming question that I mentioned a second ago, you know, if you don't have a lot of people that are interacting in your premiere, then it doesn't make a ton of sense to even have that premiere since people aren't really interacting in it, right? So just give it some time. I wouldn't say a specific, you know, size. Just, you know, you'll notice as you start getting, you know, similar comments from similar people and all of that stuff, where you start seeing similar faces, you'll notice that. And when you notice that, then that's when you can try to do a premiere again, see if you can get some people in there in that situation. Cutthroat Society.
Super chat.
Hey, Nick, big fan. How do I start a members area? So thank you for the super chat. Thank you for enjoying the content. And in terms of a members area here on YouTube, you just have to have the subscriber requirement for that. And if you are a gamer, I think it's 1,000 subscribers now. If you're not a gamer, then it's 10,000 subscribers. And when you have those milestones, then they give you the option to turn on your channel memberships. I think they might have changed that recently, but in my brain, I still have that 10,000 subscribers, but it might be 1,000 across the board now, because I know they made a change to that recently. I'm actually going to make a note to myself to look into that after the stream. Look into membership requirements. But in addition to that, one of the things that you need to do, of course, is you can have the membership to where it's like a, hey, you know, spend X amount and just as like a thank you. Or you can say, you know, hey, here's X amount as a thank you. Here's, for this level of membership, then we have like members only live streams, where I publish, you know, custom videos for channel members, or videos that are exclusive for channel members, you know, that sort of thing. So just think about what it is that you're going to offer as well.
Super chat.
William Aldrich, thank you for the super sticker there. Much appreciated. Gaming Villa says, do tags matter? So here's the thing. As long as it's a feature, use it. Hey, what's up? Roberto Blake. Roberto says 1,000 subscribers confirmed. Thank you for that. So when it comes to the tags on your, and that was in relation to the channel membership option. So hit 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel, and then that option will open up for you. So in terms of tags, so Roberto posted on Twitter just the other day, it might've been yesterday, saying that, you know, he believes that everything matters. And I posted in there saying that I'm of the same mind and thinking that, you know, everything matters. So when the features are there, use them. When they're not important anymore, just like all the features that people don't use, YouTube will end up taking it out. When there's no reason to have it, they will remove it. Decision of Power 4X says, Nick, 442 subscribers in 8 weeks. I'm interviewing a trading psychologist in the next few weeks. He's already mentioned that he will share it with his following 250,000 plus. Your advice is priceless. Decision of Power, high five and fist bump to you. Nice work on getting that particular gig or that interview or that conversation, you know, depending on, you know, how you want to word it. UJ DIY says, I'm trying Google Ads just to boost my subs. Now at 106, I have 15 videos. Was this a good move or not? No, it was not a good move. And the reason that it's not a good move is one thing that's really important when it comes to YouTube is being able, hey, Chantel, what's up? One thing that's really important when it comes to YouTube is being able to get a response from what it is that you do. Now, that's a really broad thing for me to say. So what do I mean by that in detail? So when you publish videos on YouTube, one of the things that helps YouTube know that it's a good thing to keep showing people is that people will click on it at a competitive rate, and they will watch it for a period of time where YouTube will deem it as a satisfactory experience for that person that went through the video. So because of that, you have to make sure that you are able to get people to click on your videos, you're able to get people to watch your videos for an acceptable amount of time, and that you can get people to further engage in terms of sharing your content, adding it to playlists, giving it thumbs up, giving it thumbs down, giving comments, you know, all of the interactions that they can do with your video. You want to try to get them to do that stuff too. But at the highest level, it's getting them to click, because if they can't click, or if they don't click, then they don't have the opportunity to even interact with your content in the first place, right? And then once they do click, and then they go in and they start watching your content, you got to give them, you know, you got to give them a great experience in that situation in order for YouTube to identify it as something that's good, that they will continue to show people over time. And that particular question, let's see here. As I just scroll down, I'm not sure. Walter's World, what's up, man? Hope that you're doing fantastic. Thanks for swinging by. Neil, Urban Explorer, what's up, man? Saying Hybrid Steel's also in the house. What's up? Hope that you are doing great. Oh yeah. So basically the question was on your on running ads. Okay. So here's where that whole thing ends up breaking down is, okay, let's say that you go and spend, we'll just say $100 on YouTube ads or $1,000 on YouTube ads, either one. And through that money that you spend on YouTube ads or Google ads, trying to get people to your YouTube channel, just based on numbers alone, some people are going to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then that's awesome, right? You're looking at it and you're like, hey, this is great. I got people subscribing to the channel. Sweet. I don't have to do the hard work. I just got to throw money at this and I'm golden. But unfortunately, based on the thing that I was just talking about response, as soon as you stop spending money on ads, if you can't get people to respond to what it is that you're doing in terms of the click and the watch for an acceptable period of time, then those people are going to be unresponsive, because even though they might have subscribed to your channel, even though you might have had them watch a video, even though those things happened, your ability to get them to click on some of your future content, that's the thing that is going to be able to make the difference on if that was a good move or not. In most cases, if you're just getting started, this is your first time, doing YouTube or anything like this, and you're running ads for the sake of, hitting some of these milestones quickly, it can really work against you, because what can happen is you won't have a big audience yet. And since you don't have a big audience yet, and those people end up being unresponsive, if they do, then in that situation, you've just created this little wall or this little hurdle that you're going to have to hop over, so to speak. But all it takes is one video to fix that, one high performing video to fix that. But at the end of the day, when I just want to express the idea that there are not shortcuts, right? So, of course, when it comes to advertising, that's marketing, right? That's one of the things that you do. Like if you were selling, Gatorade, then in that situation, Gatorade has a marketing budget, and some of the marketing budget might go towards, Google and YouTube advertising. So the same idea applies to your YouTube channel when you're thinking to yourself like, hey, I'm just trying to market my videos. However, on the back end, the things that happen are different. So for example, even with Gatorade, right? If they were putting out, spending millions of dollars getting people to buy Gatorade, and then they walk into a store and all of their, Gatorade ads look like this, but then when you walk into a store, it's in like a can, then in that situation, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to sell Gatorade in that situation. Or if Gatorade just sucks, then it's going to be difficult for people to buy Gatorade and enjoy it after that first sale. And then because of that, people won't go and buy the Gatorade anymore. So the idea I'm trying to express is that it's just really important to make sure that you learn how to get an organic response first before you start experimenting with ads, so that you don't just blow your money. Because once you learn how to get that organic response, then if you target your ads properly, that's going to help you be able to get those people to respond to what it is that you're doing at a higher rate, so that you don't blow your money. All right. So next up on our list here, we are going to pull this one out of the form. And this one is from Kupasa MLB, and they do daily content. It's a sports channel. The goal of the channel is to become the biggest baseball media company in Spanish for all Latino baseball fans all over the world. Oops. I wanted to give you an applause, not the trombone. So yeah, that's awesome, man. You're just like claiming it. Love it. Question: we get thousands of views per videos if we go live or upload them as fake lives using OneStream or OnStream, but when we upload them in a normal way, we struggle to get past the 2,000 views. Why? My guess is because when you upload them live, live videos have a little bit more power than recorded videos while they're live. So basically little details like on a homepage, for example, for desktop users, they are going to see like a little icon if they're subscribed to you. They're going to see your channel name. They'll see a little live icon next to it, so you can pull traffic from there. In addition to that, when people are hopping in on their mobile devices, then YouTube is also showing, that live stream to the people that are, engaged in your content. They're showing that live stream, letting people know that you're live, and that's causing people to pour into what it is that you're doing compared to the video content itself. Let's see here. Next up on the list. But I'm going to guess, if you look in your analytics, I'll guess that after the live stream is finished, then it probably takes a similar path to the video content once the live is actually finished, would be my guess. Salad Cream Boy, what's up? Says Samsung Galaxy phone and tablet is what they make the content on. Well-being is the type of channel. The goal of the channel is to help the mental state of my viewers and eventually go full-time.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
The question is, Nick, your video on how to deal with toxic viewers has seriously helped and has significantly helped my mindset when creating content. Thank you. High five, fist bump to you. My question is relating to my early content that, and this has surprised me, are still getting views. Is it worth going back and updating all my thumbnails and titles to appear uniform with what I have now, since I feel my technique has improved, or should I just be concentrating on making my new stuff better? For now, I would recommend that you just focus on making your new stuff better. However, if you do have a lot of extra time, you don't want to just go and change things for the sake of changing things because you know how to use Photoshop a little bit better. What you want to do is you want to go back and you want to look and figure out what high performing looks like on your channel, what average performance looks like on your channel, and what low performance looks like on your channel. And then you want to actually dig into the videos and you want to notice, hey, this particular video here, the click-through rate wasn't that great, but the audience retention on this was awesome. So because of that, if I can get people to click on this more, then since it's proving that people, respond to the video on the watch better, like while they're actually watching it, then in that situation, maybe I'll update this particular video, because if I can get people to click on it more, then it's a great experience all the way through. And therefore that video will probably, get legs and start performing better than it was before. So in that situation, don't change for the sake of changing, change for the sake of improving something when you have something else. Like for example, if you just change your thumbnails, but your audience retention on those videos sucked, then in that situation, then you might get people to click on it more, but if they're not watching it, then that could, kind of lower, the exposure of that video since people aren't responding to it well. However, if it goes the other way and, you have a high, audience retention on it, and then you update the thumbnail to where you get a higher performance off of that, then you can cause the whole thing to lift up because you're basically just fixing the thing that's broken, so to speak, instead of just changing it for the sake of changing it. Let's see here. As we keep scrolling down the page, Our House says, how can you encourage super chats on a live without sounding greedy? That's a great question. So offer a service of some kind. That's one way to do it. So as you can see here, it's free to participate here. So, I've got the form down in the description below where I pull questions from. Sometimes I'll pull them directly from the chat as well. But when people super chat, their question goes to the top of the line. And since that happens, other people notice that and they're like, hey, if I just want to, expedite my question being answered, then I drop a super chat and then my question will get answered faster. So that's pretty much the idea. So one of the things that you want to think of is, the people that are coming to you, what can you do for them that might cause them to want to give you a super chat for, the information or the techniques or whatever it is that you happen to be sharing with your audience. Paul Peck, Drywall Tube in the house. What's up, dude? Hope that you are doing fantastic. Meat, love the channel name, but how to get more views faster and which tags? It's not about tags, man. Tags aren't going to be the things that's going to make you get views faster. The thing that's going to make you get views faster is coming up with really good. Love it. Roger Wakefield says, have Daryl Eves come on your live. That's how you get more super chats. Yeah, we broke a record that day. With your help, Roger. Yeah, we broke a record that day. So there's actually there's been a few people that have said that joke like behind the scenes as well, just through random conversation about like, yeah, you gotta have Daryl come on here on a regular basis. It's funny. So what was I saying? Yeah, but completely lost my track of thought. But on the super chat thing though, yeah, it's just about, just giving something in exchange or just trying to gamify what it is that you are doing and, putting money behind that. Those sorts of things can help. Anthony Homer Cycling says, I've applied all of your tips on another platform. I went viral. Now I have 174,000 followers. Nice work for you. High five and fist bump. Very, very cool. Okay, so as we keep on scrolling down the page, we've got, let's see here. Next up on our list, Ross Baxter, what's up, man? Says they upload 1 time per week or more. It's a game and film art podcast channel. The goal of the channel is to help artists find their dream job. Is there any common words in the intros that are hurting people's watch time? Thanks as always, Nick. I wouldn't say that there's any words in the intros, but there are words in the outros that hurt people's watch time. So for example, like one common mistake that people will make on YouTube is they'll have the video going and this is like a natural, well, not natural. This is kind of like a thing that teachers actually get taught is, like after you go through like anything that you're sharing, then you kind of recap things and then you close the video out or you close the session or whatever. So in this particular situation, as it pertains to YouTube, while people are watching your videos, when you start saying things like, and that's how you XYZ, or that's why I think XYZ, or, you know, anything that gives them an indicator that the video is at its end, that they got what they came for, then you'll see as soon as you say those things, if you look in your audience retention reports, and this is across the board, I don't care what kind of content you make, but it's across the board that you'll see that as soon as you start ending your video in that way, you'll see people start leaving. And it's because you've told them essentially that the video is over. So what you want to do is, as your videos are playing and as you're giving content, you just want to drop the end screen on them, right? You don't want to have a bunch of, you know, filler stuff before you get to your end screen. You don't want to, you know, waste some additional time recapping things. You just want to drop your end screen on them so that, you know, hopefully they'll click on another video on the end screen, or that next up video will play, and hopefully you are in that next up spot. All right. So let's see here. Next up on our list, we've got, let's see. Peter on Poll says they upload every other day. They've been making videos for less than 1 year. And the question is, oh, they do a Formula One motorsport channel. The goal of the channel is they enjoy making content and they want to be a millionaire. That's cool. I like that you claim it. Do the math, figure out exactly what it is that you have to do in order to make that happen. But I love that you claim it. A lot of people are shy about that sort of thing. The question is, I'm making a Formula One list channels. Is making a Formula One list channel a good niche? I love it. I love doing it, but I'm not sure if there's an audience for it. Thanks. I'm sure there's an audience for it, but the thing is if you are just making lists, then in that situation, you are using other people's content for that particular list. So I would definitely make sure that you're adding something to it, or that will end up working against you to where you might not get in the partner program, or you might end up, in a situation to where, you might get copyright claims and things like that as well. So just make sure that whatever it is that you are doing with that content, that it is transformative in some way, so that you can, avoid those types of headaches. But in terms of Formula One, I can tell you right now, Formula One is huge all over the world in terms of people's interests in it. So because of that, there's definitely an audience. All right. So let's see here as we keep on trucking through the form here. The name of the channel is unknown, and I can't understand the rest of it there. And the question, it's an educational gaming and the channel, and the goal of the channel is monetization and fun sometimes. The question, I want to switch my channel to be fully about gaming on my phone. How can I get views from it? If you are going to making videos on your phone, then you would take the same exact approach as you would with anything else. So, the same rules still apply. You got to be able to get people to click on what it is that you're doing. You got to get people to watch what it is that you're doing. You got to get them to, keep coming back to your channel and keep watching what it is that you're doing, those sorts of things. And it doesn't matter what you're making content on. I just published a video to where Chris here locally, he does everything on his phone, and under a year, he got 100,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. So, it's definitely possible. You just have to stop thinking that because you make content XYZ, that the rules are somehow going to be different for you, because they're not. We all play by the same rules. We all have to get people to respond to what it is that we do. And it doesn't matter if you're making gaming content. It doesn't matter if you're making YouTube help content. It doesn't matter if you're making tech content. It doesn't matter if you're making cooking videos. It doesn't matter if you're just sitting there, staring at the camera and talking. It doesn't matter if you're live streaming, if you're uploading videos, if you're uploading your podcast, whatever. All the rules are the same. We got to get people to respond to what it is that we're doing. Those people that YouTube is showing our content to, we got to get people to respond to what it is that we're doing. And we get YouTube to show our content to the right people by optimizing it in the right way in terms of the topics that we talk about, in terms of our thumbnails grabbing the attention of a person because of the things that they might be interested in that is in our thumbnails, our titles, because of course, through the topic itself, we're using that information in our titles to help people identify that the content that you have is for them, and then you get them into the actual content, give them a great experience there, and so on. Like, we all play by those rules, regardless of the type of content that you make. And when you think that, and you see this happen all the time. I get comments all the time where people are like, hey, why don't you make this about, why don't you share some tips about gaming channels? Why don't you share some tips about vlog channels? Why don't you share some tips about cooking channels? And the thing is, it's like, I do, almost every video that I upload, some of it applies to every type of channel. And I try to be, with the information that I share, I try to be as specific as I can, in a way that will cover the most people. However, the most important thing that you can do is experiment, because when you experiment, then you get to uncover, the things that are working for you specifically. But in terms of the rules of the game that we're playing here on YouTube, we're all playing by the same rules. It doesn't matter. Even channel size, isn't as important these days. Let's see here. Hamilton Homegrown says, does a sweet mustache help with the ladies? I think it does. Yeah, I definitely think it does. But I think it helps, especially like if you can do this with it, just so like you can sit somewhere and you can be wearing like clothes that you would see, I guess, in like a GQ, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a ladies man. I don't know. And like you just sit in like a dimly lit, place, and you're just sitting there twirling it. Yeah, I think that's the magic thing right there. You just sit there and twirl it like this. And then as soon as one, they're looking around, right? They're looking around, then they catch your, they catch your eye, or they don't catch your eye. They catch your mustache in the twirl. And they're like, oh yeah, okay. I'm heading over there and talking to that guy. Oh, just kidding. I have no idea. No idea, but I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing it would help a little bit. Yeah, looking like a cool hipster. Oh, fun stuff. Okay, so next up on our list, we've got Spring Boot Learning. Says that they do tech education, and the goal is to help you learn about Spring Boot and have fun doing it. And the question: I heard to not put branding marks on thumbnails and instead let the color palette and style sell the video. What's your opinion? It's important that your regular viewers know that your content is your content and they can identify that. However, it's more important that people that are not familiar with your content click on it so that your channel can thrive and grow. So here's what I want you to think about when it comes to that. If you can get a similar style in terms of, you have your own style and the imagery that you're using and how you're using text, if you're using text at all, the specific, fonts and colors and all of that good stuff, you can definitely do it through that, but you do not want to do that at the cost of being effective, right? So at the highest level, work on getting effective first. Work on, raising your click-through rate, so that you can make sure that what it is that you're doing is effective, and then start thinking, okay, let me keep trying to do something that's similar to this. And if I can continue to have it be effective, then in that case, I can build my visual branding around this style that is proving to be effective for me right now. So in that situation, it could be, having like a little, branding mark on your thumbnail. It could be done through, the actual styling of the imagery that you're using. It could be done through the, the specific text and how you're using the text and things like that. But yeah, there's different ways that you can visually brand what it is that you're doing. But at the highest level, like you have to focus on getting people to click on what it is that you're doing, and you do not want to sacrifice that for the sake of looking pretty, right? Like getting people to click on what it is that you're doing is way more important than everything like looking pretty, so to speak, right? But once you get people, clicking on what it is that you're doing, then start experimenting and being like, hey, how can I make this, visually, recognizable, so that the people that are already enjoying my content can know that it's mine when I publish a video, and then they can know, hey, this is theirs, and I'm going to click on that and then come in and watch the content. Let's see here. Next up, we've got
Super Chat.
2 Quacks and 5 Clucks Farm says, got the new shorts update. Not good. They added 1 second, made my short 16 seconds. No cool features except licensed music. Any info on this, Nick? So here's the thing. Check this out. So unfortunately, I have a US account, but as of right now, boo. So yes, I have a US account, but because I'm located here, I'm actually out of luck at the moment. So I can't share any information with you on that added second or the licensed music. So what I plan to do tomorrow, possibly either tomorrow or Monday, is hook up a VPN, go in that way, see if I can get it, update in the App Store, because I still pull from the US App Store too. But go in with the VPN, see if I can, get the right one in there, so then I can, start doing that sort of thing as well. So I had it on some other channels that were that are like low subscriber channels. I had it on those, and unfortunately it's gone now on those as well since they did that update. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so next up on our list, This is where not being in the States works against me, but it's okay. Let's see here. Next up on our list, we've got, I'm going to answer this one, then I'll hop back into the form.
Super chat.
AT Andre Thomas says, thank you for the awesome tips to make your channels grow, to make our channels grow. You rock. You also rock. Thank you for the super chat and the kind words. I appreciate it. Heidi, Costume CEO in the house. What's up? Hope that you're doing awesome. Let's see here. Doug says there's one back there for Insane McLean. And okay, so it looks like I've missed some. Shame on me. So while that page is loading, I will go ahead and pull one out of the form here. So the Spectrum Art Academy says that, let's see here, they do art tutorials, and the goal of the channel is to help people with their art struggle. The question, I'm preparing my content to be showcased on Patreon and will soon be attending a session on how best to use it. I have nearly 700 subscribers. When would you advise be a good time to start my Patreon account? Right away. And the reason that I recommend that you start right away, and this is for everybody, you should start either Patreon or selling merch or having something available in all of your videos so that as your channel grows, your income grows, right? That's kind of the idea. So every video that you publish that doesn't have something like that attached to it is a video that's not working for you to basically, it's a piece of content that's not working for you like long-term. Like if sure, it'll bring people in, you'll get ad revenue from it and all that. But in terms of additional monetization, if you think of it this way, okay, if you have 100 videos and you didn't start monetizing until like your 90th video, then in that case, you've got, 90 videos that are just getting ad revenue, where somebody else that might have started at the same exact time as you, they started monetizing on their 5th video or their 10th video. And then now they have 90 videos that have alternative monetization options in them. And because of that, they're probably full-time on YouTube while you're sitting there going, man, I hope I can make this work out, right? Because you just started and you just can't see the light on the horizon yet. So because of that, that other person's probably full-time already because, they've been implementing those things with all the videos they publish. So when YouTube is showing that back content library to people that are currently interacting with the channel, people are clicking on it. They're finding out about the merch. They're finding about the email list. They're finding out about the affiliate things. They're finding about all the different things. And then because of that, that puts that person in a better position to go like full-time or all in on this stuff compared to somebody that waits a really long time in order to do it. Let's see here. It's a great question, though. Okay, so the questions that we had are, and we have some more come in here as well. So let me scroll down. So Insane McLean says, hey, Nick, what about Facebook sponsored posts? I see Sean and others doing that. How do these sponsored posts affect the channel? So in that situation, I know with Sean, to my understanding, I think they're doing it in their case to promote courses and things like that. So it's a different thing. So in that situation, you have to look kind of like at a short-term loss for long-term gain type of thing. So if there was any negative impact on the channel, then in that situation, they're going to compensate for that through, through your course sales and that sort of thing. But also keep in mind, Sean is really good at getting a response from people. He makes excellent content. He's really good at getting people to click on what it is that he's done. He's a professional at this stuff. And because of that, he could run ads on his channel all day long and he would be fine, because as those people are coming into his channel, then he would still be able to get them to respond after he turned that ad spend off, so to speak. So, it is something that you can do, but the same thing applies here that I was talking about earlier on the YouTube side, that if you end up spending a bunch of money on YouTube advertising or Facebook advertising or Google advertising or whatever, any type of advertising, if you can't get people to respond when they're on the platform, then in that situation, that money is going to be pretty much just thrown away if you can't get people to respond, on the platform when you publish, your next video, so to speak.
Super
Javon Jones, thank you for the super chat, says, what's up, Nick? I love your channel. Any advice on slow YouTube growth? Absolutely. So success leaves clues and lack of success does as well. So what you want to do is you want to go into your YouTube analytics. You want to look at things like your click-through rate. You want to look at things like your audience retention. You want to look at your overall engagement on the channel. You want to look and see how many people are coming back to your channel on a regular basis as well. And you want to look at all of those things, and the videos that are doing well in terms of they get views on a regular basis, even though they might be older content, people are subscribing to those particular videos, then you want to go in, you want to start looking and trying to understand why people are responding to those. Is it the specific thing that you're talking about in those videos? Is it the way that you structured the video? Is it how you opened excuse me, is it how you open the video that grabbed their attention, that, you know, that grabbed their attention in that situation? Is it, you know, was your hook awesome? And because of that, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to stay and watch this whole thing because, you know, that hook was just great, right? They wouldn't think that, but you know, like you just want to start uncovering those types of things. So the content that you have on the channel that, that is bringing in, you know, regular views, even though it might not be a lot, just go and try to, you know, investigate a little bit and try to figure out why. But just some things that you got to make sure that you're focused on is you have to make sure that you're paying attention to your audience retention reports. You got to make sure that you're paying attention to your click-through rate compared to other videos on your channel and how many impressions that you're getting. Because if you can't get people to watch your videos for a little bit of time at least, then in that situation, YouTube isn't going to show that content to people for very long. And instead, they're going to show content to people that people will watch for a longer period of time. So because of that, you know, you have to go in, you have to go through the process. And I know that stats and analytics, I know that that's something that, you know, a lot of content creators is kind of like, I don't want to do that. I just want to make videos, right? But, you know, that's part of the gig. And if you do have slow growth, then, you know, it comes down to digging in there and figuring out why. Also little details as well that are extremely massively important, like, you know, making sure that it's clear who it is that you are targeting with your content. So, you know, one of the things that I see a lot when people are asking me, you know, hey, you know, my channel's not growing, will you check out my channel, you know, through DMs and stuff, is I'll pop their channel open and then I'll see like, wow, this is all over the place. No wonder nobody's subscribing here, because it's like not clear in any way, shape or form what's going on. So that's going to help YouTube not know who to show the content to. It's going to have people, when they come in and they watch a video, for some of the people that flow over to your channel page, they're not going to, you know, have any idea what it is that you're doing. It's just like a bunch of random stuff. So, you know, because of that, it's just really important to make sure that it's crystal clear who it is that you are making your content for, and that when you are thinking of the topics that you're going to make videos about, that you are making content for those people that you are trying to reach on YouTube. But, you know, all the answers to what it is that you're looking for, and this is for everybody, you know, all the answers that you're looking for, it's in your stats. You just have to dig in and find them. Okay, so next up on the list here, let me scroll down because it looks like we had some more come in. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Savvy Turtle,
super chat.
Thank you for the super sticker there. I need to get another one made that says super sticker, right? So I can be appropriate here instead of being like, hey, this is a super chat, but it's really a super sticker. Yeah, I need to work on that. Okay, Fat Squatch Games.
Super chat
says, hey buddy, what's up, man? Hope you're doing great. Says, my question is, I've noticed I can send viewers to the next scheduled stream or video premiere. Would you recommend setting up videos in advance so they are pushed to the next video, allowing them to set a reminder? Yeah, that's a really good thing to experiment with, especially if you're going to do premieres as well. I was hoping when they introduced that feature that you could just send them off to other people, but I keep trying at every stream to see if they start doing that. But I can't get it to send to something that's not on my channel. So because of that, if you know that you're going to be streaming within the next few days or something, absolutely give it a shot. See if it helps boost the amount of people that subscribed or that set the reminder for that one. And in terms of premieres, though, in that situation, definitely, because one thing that you can do there, if you know you're going to be doing a premiere, is if you have an engaged audience, they're watching your live stream and you're like hyping up the video during the live stream and you're telling people that, hey, this is, I've got it scheduled, this premiere is happening then. And you tell them, hey, at the end of this live stream, there's going to be a thing that pops up. So make sure that, when you get transferred over to that other video, you hit that reminder. Then you can actually kind of sell that premiere a little bit compared to it just being another live stream. So, so I would definitely use that for premieres if you live stream on a regular basis and if you do premieres from time to time. But in terms of hopping from live to live, if you want to let people know that you will be live at that time, I think it would be advantageous. But I don't think that it's a huge. I don't think it's going to make a huge, huge difference, over the course of, a few days or a week on the live stream. Let's see here. You know what? I'll actually, as long as I remember, I'll actually set it up next week. I'll set one of those up next week, and then I'll just shoot me a message on Twitter and a DM to remind me, and I'll set that up next week, and then I'll get back to you on the effectiveness of it.
Super chat.
Match Point, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it.
Super
the Book Bar Brothers says, what's the best way to pivot, shifting from Star Wars videos like live trivia, but started with collectibles? Does the algorithm hate that? It's not that the algorithm hates it. The algorithm doesn't hate anything. The algorithm's impartial to all of this stuff. The problem is how viewers are going to respond to what it is that you're doing and who YouTube thinks that your content is a perfect fit for. So for example, like if you are doing Star Wars stuff and all the videos that you've been uploading for, majority of your channel have been Star Wars content, well, YouTube had their system, I'm sure by now, if you're getting any type of traction at all, their system has identified that, people that, watch Star Wars content, people that search for Star Wars content, that those people are a good fit for your stuff. And then as soon as you change to live trivia, then in that situation, that's a totally different group of folks. And because of that, YouTube might try to show some of that live trivia content to some of those Star Wars people. And eventually it'll learn as those people don't respond to it. But that transition period might be a little bit rough for you. So what I would recommend is build a bridge. So what I mean by that is if you're going to do live trivia, then do Star Wars live trivia, right? So that you're still pulling in the same group of people, and then you start filtering people out, so to speak, as you make that transition. So basically video 1, hey, Julie, nice to see you in here. Lil Crafty Nook, nice to see you here as well. Greg's VR, what's up, man? But basically for the transition, like as you are publishing Star Wars content, then start doing Star Wars live trivia. And then with your Star Wars live trivia, start doing like sci-fi, live trivia, and then just start making the transition slowly into the direction that you want to go, and just use all of those as filters to, start funneling down the people that will actually care about the new content with what it is that you're doing as well. Roberto Blake says the algorithm follows the audience. If you're making what people want to watch, you will get views. That's all there is, supply and demand. Let's see here. Next up on our list, Spiky YT.
Super chat.
Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Super sticker. Let's see here. Next up, we've got, and I saw another one come in. Here it is. Let's see here. Taurus Tenacious says, is it okay to combine 2 niches into one? Absolutely it is. Like if you can find a way to make something unique by combining 2 niches, then you have a really good chance of really standing out on YouTube, because you're offering something that other people don't offer. So because of that, or they can't offer, or they haven't thought to offer it, it might be something that's never been put out there before. So absolutely you can win that way. Let's see here. Next up, really quick, The Real Flock.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Next time you are on Facebook, look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. Awesome community over there. So just as a heads up for the 2 people, I think, or 3 people that have joined as channel members. So after this stream here, actually, you know what? I'll probably be able to do it because the time zone thing, like right now, normally I'm just starting here. But now, I'll be stopping about an hour early here, which will give me time to let everybody into the channel membership stuff afterwards. So yeah, so never mind. Disregard what I was getting ready to say. Okay, so next up on our list, we got T and 141 Homestead. And they say homesteading, vlog, how-to, and off-grid life is the type of channel. The goal of the channel is to share the experience, monetize, and it's fun. Question. Hey, Nick, I've been consistently uploading since the beginning of the year, but I've stalled at 125 subs. Any suggestions on getting my momentum back? Absolutely. For the videos that have previously performed well on your channel, go and try to figure out why. Look in your audience retention. Look at how many people completed the video. Look at how many people clicked on the end screens of those videos. Look at your click-through rate of those videos. Look at the click-through rate and the different traffic sources for those videos. Look at how many subscribers those videos generated. All of those things are all things that tell YouTube that, that it's a good video. So when you have videos that perform well, it leaves you a bunch of clues on what good looks like on your channel. So because of that, you want to make sure that, if you stall out, that one, you use the grouping feature, the compare feature in YouTube, to where you can compare date ranges and try to figure out why. One thing that could have happened is you could have been getting a lot of traffic from like suggested videos, for example, and then somebody else came along making content like yours. They bumped you out of that spot because, maybe people clicked and watched their videos for a longer period of time than yours. And because of that, it caused you to take a hit in suggested traffic. It could be, like in my situation, for example, for like a long time, it was just like a handful of us, that were making this type of content. Now there's like tons of channels like this. So because of that, that cuts into, like the rest of us, it cuts into our traffic as well, so you can run into things like that also. Let's see here. Thank you, Spicy. Help me. Paid $1. I'm asking that my YouTube videos are bad like my friend. Okay. So a question here really quick came in from Doug. And this one is from a super chat that came in, but they didn't attach the question to it. It says, I paid $1. I'm asking that my YouTube videos are like bad. My friends get 100 views in one day, but me not so. Do you know any tips? So first, it's important to know that people respond to different content and different content creators in different ways. So because of that, it's important to know and pay attention to what other people are doing and the results they're getting and things like that. But you don't want to obsess of it and you don't over it. And you don't want to pin like I'm doing good or bad based on what they are doing. And the reason for that is because let's say, for example, that the other person that's uploading the content compared to you, let's say that they're a little bit more engaging on camera, or let's say that they have a little bit more editing experience, or they have more time to put into the edit, or they understand editing more. And because of that, they create a better experience for people. People watch for a longer period of time. YouTube ends up showing their content to more people, and they get some momentum faster than you do, right? That's just kind of the nature of the beast, so to speak here. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to look at that and be discouraged by it and think like, oh no, they're doing better than me, they're growing faster than me, or anything like that. Because when you do that, then it starts taking away from you working against yourself. Because ultimately what you want to do is you want to look at your last video, and you want to watch your last video. You want to look at your audience retention in your last video, and you want to sit there like this and you want to watch it. And then like when you see a dip, you want to be like, okay, here's a note. Okay, that took a dip here. I'm going to take this note. Right, I'm going to take this dip, this note right here. My video took a dip in audience retention. Watch it a little bit more. Oh, another dip. What happened here? Wow, I kept people consistently watching for this period of time. Wonder what was going on there. Let me watch that again. And you just sit there and you just go through your videos, right? The ones that people enjoy, the ones that do better than others. You go through and you figure out, try to figure out, and you make theories on the things that you think are keeping people watching or causing people to leave. And then you test all of those theories on new content that you're publishing until you fine tune it into an acceptable experience for YouTube, or a satisfactory experience for YouTube. And then that will, once you do that, and users of YouTube, the people that are, just watching videos on YouTube, once they start interacting with your content and getting that better experience, then you'll start getting more activity on what it is that you're doing. And you might catch up to your friend, or you might surpass your friend, or you might stay to where they're always, that far ahead of you in view and subscriber counts. Who knows? But the idea is to work against yourself. Just try to make your video that you're going to be publishing, this week, make that better than the video that you published last week, or try to, right? And try to learn from every video that you publish. And by doing those things, that will turn you into a better creator than looking at somebody else and saying, hey, this, like, why are they doing better than I am? Don't get me wrong. You want to say, why are they doing better than I am? But you don't want to carry it around with you like, oh, this means that I suck or anything like that, because it doesn't. It just means that for whatever reason, they're getting a better response than you. But the only way that you can fix that is to look at what it is that you're doing and look at the things that are not good on your channel in terms of retention or click-through rate or people completing your videos, things like that, and start correcting that stuff, right? That's the thing that's going to end up moving the needle for you. Let's see here. Next up on the list, I saw some super chats come in. I'm going to answer those really quick here. Saw some memberships coming in too. Savvy Turtle
Super
says,
chat.
YouTube formula rocks for those who are seriously making small tweaks in your journey. I'm happy with my hard deletes. Stoked watching my actions improve. Yeah, I actually just had mine arrive this morning. Actually, I got it right here so that people can see it on that second shot. But yeah, mine just showed up this morning. So I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet, but I'll be reading it over the course of the week here. Let's see here. Next up on our list, we've got, I got to add that to my descriptions too. Joni.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Welcome to the Nimminati. Make sure next time you are on Facebook, you look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. When you go in there, introduce yourself. The group itself, we have one thing pinned in the announcement, one announcement pinned in the announcement. And you want to go and you'll see tons of people in there, leaving like their channels and stuff like that. If you drop your channel link in there for feedback on it, just make sure that you're specific on what it is that you want feedback about, because that helps me be able to better target, the question that you have. Benny Boldy Gaming.
Super chat.
Hey, Nick, I've been struggling with reaching new viewers on my channel. The game I'm playing is starting to die. Any tips on how to change games? So as a gamer, a lot of gamers end up in this situation. So what you want to think about is, one, if you're going to be, you know, changing direction, just think if there's any bridge that you can make in terms of, if you're doing like COD, then in that situation, like what can you do? That would be another game that you play that you enjoy, plus people that play COD would enjoy, right? Like if you play race car games, then like another race car game, you know, might be the path for you if there's a new popular race car game. But ultimately, what you want to do is you want to get things to the point to where you got, you know, a crew of people that keep coming in and watching your videos all the time, and then you can play whatever you want. But while you are making that transition, though, I would definitely make sure that you are playing on the interests of the people that are already interacting with what it is that you're doing by making by playing games that are similar in interest to the stuff that you're currently doing. Let's see here. And I think I had one more, and then I will hop back into the forum. Patman Gaming
Super Chat
says, hey, Nick, I sent you a Twitter DM about my lighting setup. When you get a chance, please answer that DM. I want to implement whatever you teach me ASAP. The Patman Gaming. I will do that. I'm going to take a picture of this on my phone so that I remember to see it after the thing. Got it. And yeah, I will follow up with you on that. Next up, we've got Medieval Marty. And let's see here. Okay, Medieval Marty says, I love that channel name, by the way, Medieval Marty. It just kind of rolls off of the, kind of rolls off the tongue. I love that. Says, do you have any advice on how to get into people's recommended next to the videos that they're watching? Yes, absolutely. And I'll actually show you here exactly what YouTube even says about this. Give me 1 second and I'll pull it up. So basically the idea is you need to go, if you're trying to get more suggested traffic, you need to go into the traffic sources report for each individual video, and you need to see what type of results that you're getting from suggested. So in order to find this, you go into your analytics, then you go over to reach, and then you go into traffic sources. And then once you are in there, you're going to see the places for that particular video that you are getting the results from on YouTube. So you'll see like search, you'll see channel pages, you'll see notifications, you'll see browse, you'll see suggested. And with those, in order to show up on more homepages, in order to stay in search, in order to get recommended next to other videos, there is typically, like if it's somebody that is not already interacting with your content, then in that situation, the topical relationship is one of the things that cause people or cause videos to get suggested next to each other. So for example, if you go and you look at a video about iPhones, there's a really good chance, even below this video right now, if you're watching on your phone or on a computer to the side of this video, there's a really good chance you're going to see other YouTube related information. And that's because you're watching something that's based around YouTube related information. So that topical relationship between the content is one of the things that helps you show up there. But when you show up there, it's important that you understand that you have to be able to compete in those places. And what I mean by that is your click-through rate and the watch time that you're getting from your videos. So for example, if your video shows up there, and I'll just give you, an example here. If your video shows up recommended next to other videos, and YouTube is giving you impressions there, they're showing your content there, but people aren't clicking on it, then in that situation, you're not going to stay there for a long period of time, and you're going to quickly fall out of suggested. You're not going to get a lot of traffic that way. However, on the other side of that coin, if you show up in the, next to another video or under another video and people are clicking on it, they're coming in and they're watching your channel, they're giving your videos a thumbs up, they're commenting, they're subscribing, they're going and watching more of your videos, stuff like that, then YouTube is going to continue to suggest your videos next to other videos until somebody comes along that bumps you out of some of those spots, or until you bump yourself out of some of those spots, or until people just simply stop responding to you from those particular spots. That's the beauty of YouTube. And that's why it's awesome when you publish a video. Like I still get views, not a lot, but I still get views on the very first video that I ever published on my YouTube channel back in 2014, which is nuts, right? Completely, absolutely crazy nuts. So when it comes to, just getting that traffic, you have to be able to get people to respond to what it is that you're doing. But the thing that I wanted to share with you here is, let me see if I can share this. It's going to be a little bit whacked out on the screen. So, so bear with me here. But I'm going to just show it with you anyway, or show it to you anyway, because it's important for everybody here to see. Let's see here. Okay. So I'm not sure if you can see this or not, and I'll actually just kind of stretch it out so that you can have a better view. So it kind of fills up the screen here a little bit more. Give me 1 second. So the thing that I want to show, and if you're a regular viewer here, you've seen this a few times, but for anybody that's new, I just want to, share this with them. One of the things that YouTube mentions when it comes to the recommended videos is they have a page. If you just go to YouTube, if you go to Google and type in how YouTube works, then this page is going to end up showing up. But basically the thing is they're telling their users how their system works. So one of the things here, it says, I'm just going to read through this really quickly for you, just so, if you're a regular viewer, you don't have to sit through it again. But recommendations help you discover more of the videos you love, whether it's a great new recipe to try or your next favorite song. We share recommendations both on YouTube's homepage and on the Up Next section as a suggestion of what to watch next when you're watching a video. We're constantly, this is where, keeping your ability to keep people clicking is important, constantly testing, learning, and adjusting to recommended videos that are relevant to you, the users who they're talking to here. We take into account many signals, including your watch and search history. That comes down to the other videos that people are watching and the things that people are searching for on YouTube. That doesn't mean that they're searching for your video. It just means if they're searching for something that's topically related to your video and YouTube can identify that, then there's a chance that your video is going to get recommended for that person because they're already proven to be interested in that content, as well as the channels that you've subscribed to. So there's this big thing going on right now where people are, making videos about subscribers don't matter, things like that. Well, they do. And YouTube tells us that they do right here. And one of the things that they're saying, like, sure, the notifications, they might not get notified, but the channels that you subscribe to help YouTube recommend other content to you. So this is where it's really cool in terms of the system being able to identify that, hey, somebody subscribed to video influencers, but they haven't been subscribed to Nick yet. So we're going to suggest some of Nick's videos there and see if, people respond to Nick's videos as an example, or the other way around. We also consider your context, such as your country and time of day. For example, this helps us show locally relevant news. Another factor of YouTube's recommendation systems consider is whether others who clicked on the same video watched it to completion, right? So you'll hear me say it 100 more times here during this live stream. You got to get people to click and you got to get people to watch. They show us stats based around this. They show us our audience retention reports. They show us our click-through rate from the different traffic sources. Same with the audience retention, to where we can see how people are responding from the different places. But ultimately, if you look at your audience retention report for an individual video, it gives you clues as to why your video might not be getting, much attention on YouTube. But anyway, it considers whether those who clicked on it on the same video watched it to completion, assigned that the video is higher quality or enjoyable. Keep in mind, under the higher quality, they don't say, just for those of you that are making content on your mobile device, they don't say that, it's a high quality video in terms of 4K. They don't say a high quality video in terms of, you have this awesome camera. They don't say that. They just say a video that is higher quality or enjoyable. They're basing quality around how the user interacts with that content, not what the actual content looks like. Let's see here. Or if they just clicked on it shortly after starting to view the video and then clicked away. So this is why keeping people watching is so important. If people click on your videos and they watch it for a longer period of time, it illustrates to YouTube, to the system, it illustrates that it is a higher quality video. It's a more enjoyable video for people. It's a satisfactory experience. Whereas if people click on it and then they bounce, they leave, they go and they watch something else because it wasn't what they expected. You clickbaited them, you misled them when you're putting your title and thumbnail together. When they leave, or if the video itself just isn't up to par and they end up leaving, then that tells YouTube, hey, people are not enjoying this. This is not a quality experience. Therefore, we're not going to recommend this. Because instead of recommending this, we're gonna recommend something that is a quality experience and that our system has proven that is a quality experience to the users. And then they also ask users about their experience through their surveys and stuff like that they do as well. But the idea here, the reason I wanted to show you this on the page is because I wanted to show you, one, that YouTube has this type of information available. Two, I also wanted to show you just from the horse's mouth, so to speak, of what it is that gets you into recommended videos. So it's topical relationship and it's how people respond to what it is that you're doing. So one approach that you can take with this is, of course, you want to be making unique content, but you'll see a lot of people, when they notice on a competitor channel, like, hey, this video is doing really well, they'll try to make something that's topically similar, or at least a logical next step that would be topically similar, so that they can take a stab at trying to, show up in the recommendation features, or the suggested videos next to, some of the videos on that competitor channel as well. So, so in terms of getting into other people's recommendations. It's the topics that you talk about, and it's how people respond to what it is that you're doing. If you can get people, and it sounds easy, right? Like, hey, all you got to do is get people to click and watch. But like, if you can get people to click and watch, Brian G. Johnson in the house. What's up, man? If you can get people to click and watch, though, then in that situation, like you're going to do fine. But if you can't, then you have to keep working on it. You have to keep working on your thumbnails. You have to keep working on your titles. You have to keep working on the video content until you get people to respond to what it is that you're doing, and then keep trying to improve. All right. So next up on our list, let me scroll up because I missed a few here. And then I'm going to start pulling some questions out of the forum in the chat so we can rock and roll. Okay, so that junk man says, laid off artwork, so pushing my YouTube full time at 20,000 subs. I know I've been been pushed more live streams, but hard to get super chats. Any advice? Okay, laid off artwork, so pushing my laid off of my artwork, so pushing my YouTube full time at 20,000 subscribers. I know been pushed more live streams, but hard to get super chats. Any advice? Okay. So when it comes to super chats, like I mentioned before, it's advantageous if you can try to do something for your viewers. Like, I don't know exactly what it is that you're doing with your content, like what it is that you're making. But like, let's say, for example, just because you said you laid off of like artwork. So we'll just say if it's art, like technically you could have the people that are interacting with your live streams super chat in order to help you decide what to actually do with your art if you wanted to. So like, for example, you could have like a members only live stream where you do like a painting, and then you have the viewers, kind of interact with you, helping guide the direction of the painting that you're doing, as just like a fun piece that you do with your viewers, something like that, to where you have something that you are, to where you're, offering something to them in exchange for the super chat. Now, look, some people, like as channels get bigger and stuff like that, like some people, if they just go live, they'll just get crushed with super chats, right? Like if you have just an extremely personality based YouTube channel, then in that situation, when you go live, there's a really good chance people are just going to come in and start, super chatting you anyway. But when you do have something that you can offer in return, then you can increase the rate that people are super chatting. Let's see here. Next up on our list, we've got Shelly's Beauty Discovery Channel.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Welcome to the Nimminati. Welcome to the channel membership. Make sure that next time you are on Facebook, you look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group, so that you can make sure that you join in the conversation over there. It's awesome. We got an awesome group of people hanging out over there as well. So super excited to see you over there. New Media Today USA Boxing says, I started my channel on January 3rd, and now I have 2,100 subscribers because of TubeBuddy. I have a boxing channel. Thanks for the trainings, Nim. High five, fist bump to you. Nice work on your 2,100 subscribers. And I just want to tell you, it's not because of TubeBuddy. It's because you are making good content decisions, because you're putting in the work, you're putting videos together that people are responding to. TubeBuddy might help you, find the right things to make. But you're the one putting in the work, right? So don't give all of that away, right? Because you're the one carrying all the weight there. So give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a high five in the mirror next time you're in the bathroom, or if you happen to be by a mirror, right now. You can even open up your phone, put it in selfie mode. High five, fist bump yourself there. But nice work on the 2,100. 2-Bit Da Vinci says, yo, Nick. Yo, 2-Bit Da Vinci says, my channel's been stalled. Last video has 12 minutes of retention and 8 to 10% CTR, still leveled off after a day. What more can I look at to improve? Any tips? So the impressions that you're getting are also something that's going to make a difference as well. So for example, if you don't have a lot of impressions, it's really easy to keep high metrics. But when you start getting more impressions and more people start coming into your videos, those numbers become increasingly more difficult to maintain, because the people that are seeing the content and interacting with it might not be as good of a fit as the people that were initially interacting with it. So because of that, just a couple things to think about. It's important to know that the topic of the video itself can also impact the video performance. So you might have a great thumbnail. You might have a great title. Your video might keep people watching, but if the actual thing that you're doing in your video that you're talking about, or that you're showing people, or whatever it happens to be with the content that you make, if that isn't, if there's not a lot of, of people that are a great fit for that content, then in that situation, that by itself can cause that to happen. But in terms of your channel being stalled, that would come down to you need to go in, you need to look and see what was happening on your channel when it wasn't stalled compared to now. So inside of your YouTube analytics, you're going to see an option for a compare, and you can compare by date range. So for example, you can have date range now of the last 28 days. And let's say last month, if your channel was doing better, then you can compare it against last month, this current 28 days against the previous 28 days. And then that's going to allow you to dig in and try to uncover what exactly has caused the channel to stall out so that you can start, being a little bit more proactive on it. But at the end of the day, one video will pull you right out of that slump. Sometimes, just as content creators, we'll make a series of decisions that aren't fantastic when it comes to the content that we put out. And because of that, it'll seem like, things are kind of grinding to a halt, but just a few good videos will get you right back on track. So just, keep that in mind as well. But definitely compare the videos or compare the date ranges, to try to figure out why, the content isn't doing as well. Also, just keep in mind, like if you have content that you've put out that, people were responding to, like I was saying before with another question that was in here, that they were responding to through, home pages and suggested videos, but now they're not. Then in that situation, it could be because, like, if you lost that traffic, it could be because, people just stopped responding to you there. So, if you do the comparison thing that I'm talking about, that will uncover a lot for you. Let's see here. Coffee and tech.
Super chat.
Do you think live streaming will benefit me? I'm getting up the courage to start weekly. So yeah, man, like if you are trying to grow a community around what it is that you're doing, live streaming is amazing for that. And the reason live streaming is amazing for that is because you can have direct interaction like you and I are having right now. So, so in terms of will it benefit you? It can, yeah. In terms of growing the community and, all of that, just be consistent and see it through. Like say, okay, for the next 365 days, I'm going to go live stream, once a week or twice a week at this particular day, at this particular time. And this is the specific value that I'm going to offer to the people that are coming in and interacting with that live stream, and just do that consistently for a year, see how it works. Now, if you are doing video content as well, just as a heads up, the video content is a great way to pull people into the channel. They're great doorways to bring people in. Live streams can bring people in as well. But when you do stream, just make sure that you're streaming for the replay. And what I mean by that is, and I mentioned this when I first started the stream today as well, but I'll say it again, just in case you weren't here for it. But basically when you live stream, like right now, right, this is a live experience. People are hanging out here. They can get their questions asked. They can participate. You guys can talk to each other in the chat. Like this is a thing that's going on right now. And the highest value here is while it's live. However, this is also okay on the replay, but not fantastic, because when it first starts, I say, hey, welcome to Nimmin Live, the number one place on the internet to learn about YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So if somebody comes in on the replay, they see that, they understand that it's something YouTube related. Maybe it's something that might help them with their channels. But then I also mention, hey, if you're watching this on the replay, blah, blah, blah. And I do that because for those people, I want them to know that, hey, you can skip through this. You can, since you're not watching it live, then you can skip through to different parts if you want and see if you can, find anything of interest. But when you are publishing live streams on your channel, if you have, some people that are hanging out and watching, then it's cool, cater, to those people. But also if you're using it as a way to grow your channel, also make sure that you're just thinking of the replay as well. So when you are live streaming, make sure when it first starts, you have your hook in there in terms of letting people know what it is that you're going to be doing in the stream and why they should be around for it, and then get into the content itself. So don't spend a lot of time doing shout outs and stuff like that, like I do. Don't spend a lot of time, getting to the actual content. Just start, hook them and then just start delivering the value, and try, if you're using it as a way to make like easier content, because live streams are just easier to do. If you're using it for something like that, then in that situation, try to keep them a little bit short as well. Just because, like in my case, like a 3-hour live stream, that's a heck of a commitment for people compared to, like a 10-minute live stream or a 15-minute live stream or even a 30-minute live stream. Totally different experience on the replay than a 3-hour live stream. So just consider those types of things. But one thing that I want to tell you, because you say that you're getting up the courage to start weekly, just start. Because here's the thing, when it comes to live streaming, it can be intimidating. But at the end of the day, people are really tolerant because they understand that it is a live stream. So because of that, if you lose your train of thought, not a big deal. People will be fine. If your tech gives out on you, like let's say that your mic doesn't come on, or let's say you have some other technical issue, people are also, very I don't know the word I'm looking for. Kind, I guess, when it comes to those types of problems. Understanding, I guess, would probably be a better word. But, you know, people understand that those types of things happen. So the biggest hurdle that you have to get over is the hurdle of like, oh, what if I mess up? All right. But, you know, as a live streamer, because I've been live streaming for a really long time, just know that when you go live, you can delete that when you're done. So you can delete it, you can unlist it, you know, you can just private it so you still have it on your channel if you want to watch it or something, or if you need to share it with somebody. But, you know, you can take that off. So if you make a huge blunder and it embarrasses you, then you can just take it off. It's not a big deal. The people that are watching will see it, but then, you know, the people that are, you know, catching it on the replay and stuff, they're not, because they're not going to catch it on the replay because it won't be available to them. So because of that, I really encourage you though to like go ahead and get started. And another reason for that is because one, the tech does, you know, take a little bit of time to kind of, you know, get used to. And in addition to that, just live streaming can take a little bit of time to get used to, because there's the live streamers that do this where it's like, hey guys, hope everybody's doing great today. We're going to wait for some people to get in here and then we'll get started. Okay. Today we are going to, we're going to be talking about some stuff, like, for example, you know, I did this, you know, I was at the mall, you know, earlier this week, and, you know, it was cool, but, you know, it just wasn't, you know what I'm getting at though. But basically, you know, there's the live streamers where everything's kind of like dry and dull and all of that stuff. And it's like lower than their normal communication energy. So you want to make sure that you're at least bringing your normal communication energy. So just imagine like if you had a excellent date, or if you had an excellent, you know, work day, or you had an excellent, you know, workout, or whatever it happens to be, that feeling that you get when you are, you know, done with it. And you're like, afterwards, you're like, yeah, like try to muster that up before you actually go live, so that, you know, when you go live, you're just like, you know, you're in the vibe, you're feeling it, and everything like feels good. That'll help you communicate more clearly. It'll help you, you know, just stay on point and all that good stuff as well. And it just gives you the juice to kind of continue through the whole thing, you know, depending on how long it is that you're going to be live for as well. So, so hopefully some of that helps, but absolutely get started. Another thing with live streaming as well is your mind. Like, you know, for example, like right now, if I go to this camera here, like you can see, I've got like this, that I trigger my sound effects. I've got all these windows here to where I'm looking at, you know, different things based on what's going on. And because of that, you know, like there's a lot of management that can also, you know, be needed, and you're doing all of that while you're communicating. And in some cases, it can take a little bit of practice. It did for me. So because of that, you know, the faster you get started, the faster you're going to be able to get that practice in. And then the faster you're going to be able to start getting, you know, getting what it is that you're after from your live streams. But high five to you though, just a real quick, you know, note, high five to you for you know, for taking the courage and actually going for it with your live stream. A lot of people stop there, right? A lot of people are like, okay, I'm going to make videos because I can edit them and make them perfect, but I'm not going to live stream. Too scared, not going to do it. So, so high five to you for, you know, for having the courage to do it. Let's see here. T-Mad TV says, howdy, Nick, almost at 1,000. Thanks for all the tips and info. Any tips in preparing for a channel's monetization? High five, fist bump to you. Nice work on that 1,000 subscribers. So first, you're going to get channel memberships. Second, you are also going to get into the partner program in general. So just a couple things for you to think about when it comes to monetizing your YouTube videos is you do whatever you want here. But my personal preference is I don't use unskippable ads, because I would rather people come in and see my content, because I have other ways that I monetize my content. So the ad revenue isn't as important to me. And it's more important for me for people to actually come in and learn what it is that they're going to learn, so that they can make whatever changes that they're going to make that's going to positively impact that person, that's going to help them positively impact more people. Like for me, the skippable ad isn't worth, you know, not having all of that additional stuff, right? So because of that, I don't use the non-skippables. Skippables I'll use because after a few seconds and people can, you know, go through those. Premium users won't even see them. But, you know, when you are, you know, thinking of what it is that you're going to enable in terms of your monetization options, use the skippables, use the overlays. Of course, the default is going to be in there. I also don't use the sponsored cards either, because I want to control that on my channel. I want to control the cards that are popping up, so that they're, you know, if somebody's going to leave my video, they're going to leave my video because, you know, I want them to leave that video. They're not going to leave because, you know, that particular thing popped up. So, so those are just my opinions on that, because I'm a big fan of the user experience and more than I am, trying to cram stuff down people's throats, so to speak. So because of that, those are my thoughts on that. Now, in terms of memberships, if you're going to offer that, go ahead and start thinking of, what tiers that you're going to offer. Go ahead and start thinking of what you're going to offer your members for each tier, those sort of things. And then, of course, if you are going to be live streaming and getting super chats, because, a question that's popped up a couple times today is about, how you get more super chats. So also start brainstorming on, some things that you might be able to do to encourage people to super chat more as well. Truth Guitar Method
Super Chat
says same YouTube buds did reaction vids to this guy. I was too, but I put it on the back burner. When I saw what happened to their channels, they grew by the thousands, but they only watch Owlet vids. Should I do it? I wouldn't. Like if the people that are going to be watching that content are not going to watch the content that you care about the most, that you make on the channel, that you're trying to grow your channel from, then no. But if you want to turn your channel into an Owlet Bata channel, go for it. But if you're wanting people to enjoy other content of yours, try one. You can make one, right? Make one, see how it does, and see if you can get some people flowing over into the to your normal content. You can use that as just like a little spike, so to speak, in growth. But in terms of continually putting that content out, you just got to be really careful because, the algorithm follows the audience. And because of that, if people start positively responding to that, then YouTube's going to, start showing it to more and more people that are into that. And then next thing you know, you're going to have a whole audience full of people that are into that. And they're not going to care much about your other stuff, with the exception of the people that will filter over and care about your other stuff. So, some people use this, as a tactic. Like there's a channel, it's actually a company that does content like mine. And, they built like a huge chunk of their YouTube channel based around like the PewDiePie thing. And it's not their audience really, right? Like who it was, but they had that subscriber gain to, to demonstrate like, hey, we're able to grow a lot of subscribers, but the actual people that they grew from that, weren't necessarily, the right people. So, it just depends on what it is that you're doing and what you're trying to do. Let's see here. Next up on our list, our family B says, hey, Nick, put detail and form 480 or 4,088, but growth slowing, got OBS running so we can have recording of your response. Excited to learn what we can. Thanks. So, hey, I would love for you to just put your question here because for the form, I'd answer those in the order that they receive. So who knows if I'm like, I don't know how, like when it was that you put it in there. If you could drop your question here, it would be awesome. Hopefully I'll see it so that I can answer it directly for you there. Let's see here. So next up on our list, I had some others come through as well. And I don't see them over on this side. So hold on. Okay. Yeah, here's one. So I got this one. I got Jay-Z coming too. Says Michael, Six Magician says, recently, I collabed with a large account, which got me to 1,700. Do you have any specific strategies that can be used to leverage this for growth? So if you collabed with another account, then in that situation, hopefully there was good audience overlap in terms of they are somewhat topically similar or very topically similar to what it is that you're doing. If, like with your content, if you're doing magic, hopefully they had something to do with magic as well. If so, then one thing that you might want to consider is one, another collaboration, two, building a playlist around that collaboration so that you can ask the person that you collaborated with to swap up the link to your channel to that particular playlist so that you can drive people into that playlist to where you're going to include some of your videos and some of that channel as well. So that hopefully the two of you can be driving a lot of traffic into that playlist so that people are watching some of your videos and they're watching some of their videos together, which can then help you guys start getting suggested next to each other as well. That's a long-term game. It's not going to be something that's going to happen like right away, but if you can start driving people into that particular playlist together, then that's one of the things that can, help you guys start, getting some traffic, from each other. But another thing as well is if you do have, if you had those 1,700 people come over from that particular channel, if there is some type of, good overlap, just keep giving those people great content. And you might even want to and edit it out later in the YouTube editor. But like in your next video, if this just happened in your next video, you might even want to welcome them. Hey, if you're here from, this collaboration I did with here, just want to welcome you to the channel, and then get into the actual content. And then you can go in and through the YouTube editor and cut that out later because, it won't be relevant as much, in like a month from now. So because of that, you could just do it now and then go into the YouTube editor and cut it out later. But also little details, make sure that your channel's set up properly so that people can easily, easily find more of your content. Make sure that you're using your in-screen elements. Make sure that you're using your pinned comments as well, so that people, as they come into your channel from that channel, so that people can easily find more of your content without having to dig too hard for it, as well. Let's see here. As we keep scrolling down the page. Let's see. Okay, so next up we've got Jay-Z Helps.
Super chat.
And this one's in the YouTube chat because it's too far up for the StreamYard one. But says, thanks for reviewing my channel earlier this week. Meant the world to me. Grateful to be Nimmin. Have an awesome weekend, Justin Ziegler. So thank you for that, Justin. I appreciate it, my man. And my pleasure taking a look at the channel. It's the perk of being a member, right? Shirley's Beauty Discovery channel.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Make sure next time, and I might have told you this already, but just in case, make sure next time you're on Facebook, you look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. Make sure you fill out all the stuff on the way in, because that's how we verify that you are a member. Believe in the magic. What's up with these magic channels all of a sudden? It's like magic. Says, small creator, don't have much. How do I improve retention? Also, what can I put in Patreon as a vlog/theme park channel? In terms of what you can do to improve retention, some things that you can experiment with are, when your video first starts, okay, first, you got to go and figure out, like if you need to or what you need to improve about your retention. So the first thing you got to do, go in, look at your audience retention reports for different videos and try to figure out what people are responding to and what people are not. Doug, I see your message here, and I will refresh this page and I'll go through these as well. Thank you for the heads up. But what you want to do is you want to, on your retention, you need to figure out how people are responding to your content first. So go in, look at your audience retention reports across, your videos, and start, trying to uncover the different things that you do in your videos that hold people versus the things that make them leave. So for example, so through VidCharge, which is our video editing service, you can find that at vidcharge.com. By the way, it's down in the description. But one of the things that we do there for the higher package is that we actually, work with you through on like a consulting sense to help you get better retention on your videos. So one of the people that we're working with, she has a particular section to where we've identified that when she does her time lapses consistently through her video content, that when she does the time lapses and does these like speed versions of her, of her putting her stuff together in that particular situation, people are leaving. Right. So people are leaving during that period of time, which tells us, okay, now we got to either work on the format or we have to completely exclude those or find a way to take them through that process, but do it in a way to where it's not necessarily just a time lapse. Right. So it helps you identify the things that people just don't respond to so that you can start modifying how you're doing things. So the very first step is going into your retention and trying to figure that out. 2 is when you are opening your videos and when you're putting your content together, experiment with things like B-roll, which is basically like additional footage that you add to your video. Experiment with B-roll, experiment with different music choices if you use music at all. Experiment with when your videos first open. Experiment with being on camera. Experiment with not being on camera. Experiment with, showing the actual thing that you're going to be talking about, or showing like an end result that you're going to be talking about, or showing the stuff that maybe you need to make it. I don't know what type of content that you make. I know it's magic, but I don't know like what you do with magic. But let's say you're teaching people magic tricks, then showing people like, hey, these are the cards that we're going to be using, blah, 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 so that you can have like a little bit of a setup there. But the idea is you just want to experiment over time through your content so that you can start getting enough data for the people that YouTube is showing your content to be able to identify these things right here. People just aren't responding to as much as when I do these things. So even though I like doing these particular things here, and I think it makes for a cool video, people aren't responding to them. So therefore I got to axe them out and I got to focus more on the stuff that people are responding to. So inside of every video, there is something called that audience retention report. And that's the thing that's going to help you identify that. And a really cool thing is YouTube is even taking some of that legwork out by showing you, consistent viewership during this time. You had, a spike in viewership over here. People were leaving during this particular part. They're starting to show some of that information as well, which is really cool. Let's see here. We got T-Mad, we got Truth Guitar. Okay, and Science-Based Fitness. Okay, so I'm popping them open right now, and then we will go through these, and then we'll get back into the form. And really quick, before I get into these, I just want to pull one out of the chat here as well. Yeah, VidCharge, that's our video editing service. So it's a premium video editing service. It's not just a chop house, so to speak. Like we're trying to help people get better results. It's not just like, hey, we're going to, just edit your videos. Like we're going to edit your videos and we're going to like try to help you, just make better videos. Let's see here. So let's see here. We got the magicians in the house shouting at each other. Romantic, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. So Natalia Crispin says, this is my first live stream as a member. Welcome to the membership and welcome to the live stream. Hope that you're doing awesome. So just as a heads up, make sure that you look for Nimminati VIP next time that you're on Facebook, because you might have joined from one of the videos, and in the videos, like you can't see that there's a Facebook group. So make sure that you look for Nimminati VIP next time you're on Facebook. You definitely want to be in that group if you're a channel member. Let's see here. So let's go back to some of these that I missed here really quick. Hey, Brioni, what's up? I see yours here as well. Well, we had a lot of them here that I overlooked. So let me back up here just a tad. We got Medieval, we got Patman, Tenacious, Spiky YT. Thank you for the super chat. The Book Bar Bros. Okay, we got that one taken care of. Science-Based Fitness. Okay, here we go. So first, we got Andrew, we got that, we got Homegrown. Okay, so Science-Based Fitness says, hey, Nick, I was thinking about doing a video where I break down exercise videos from TikTok and explain how to improve them. Do you know if TikTok videos are fair use or able to be used on YouTube? So it's more about how you use them. So I know a lot of people do that sort of thing on YouTube. Just keep in mind, I personally like would make sure that if I was going to do that, I would give like the person credit. I would maybe even put like a link to their TikTok account, something like that. If you're going to be slamming them, then in that situation, like if you're going to be roasting them, so to speak, then in that situation, their repercussion might be that they might file a claim with you. And if they do, then you are going to have to make sure that you're able to defend yourself in terms of, the dispute. So, that just be confident in yourself that legally you can defend it in the event that you end up in a situation to where you might have to. I'm really weird. I know people have a lot of success, with doing that type of thing. But I'm so wary or so cautious about it just because of all the work that we put into our channels and stuff like that. And all it takes is, like, I'm sure if you're embedded in the YouTube community and you're like, on all the, YouTube, like, subreddits and Facebook groups, all that stuff in the forums, you're going to see every day where people are, getting their channels taken down for doing these, those sorts of things. And some people get away with it. Some people, they don't, based on people, filing reports and that sort of thing. And me personally, the reason that I wouldn't personally do that is just because it wouldn't be worth the risk for me, whatever gains came from that. However, again, some people get massive success with doing that sort of thing. So it's just a gamble you got to be willing to take. I'm not going to say like do it or don't. It's totally your call. But people do have success with that sort of thing. I would just be mindful that that anytime you're using someone else's content, that there is a risk involved, and you have to make sure that you are able to defend yourself legally in the event that you need to. And if possible, man, like if you can, like I would reach out. That's a great way to go around it. So you have some documentation from them, like reaching out, saying, hey, I have this YouTube channel, Science-Based Fitness, and I'm breaking down some TikTok videos. I would love to include you in that, and see if you can get them on board. But the downside of this is a lot of TikTok is driven by music. And a lot of it's not too, but a lot of it's driven by music. So I would also make sure that you're not using anything that has any music attached to it, because then you have two things that you could possibly bring drama to yourself with: that particular creator, and then the music companies that actually own the rights to the music. So I would just be extra careful and not use the music, at least. Let's see here. So we got Terrace. Okay, we got that one taken care of. We've got that one about YouTube formula, Patman Gaming. We got that. Medieval, got that. Junkman, got that one taken care of. Okay, coming up on the ones that I missed here. Cowboy Cody.
Super chat.
What are some ways that I can get better audio in windy conditions? I live in Wyoming, where winds can get up to 136 miles per hour. Well, guess what, Cowboy Cody? I'm going to show you. You need to get yourself one of these. So what this is called is a windscreen, also known as a dead cat. And basically you put the microphone, you put this over the microphone itself. Of course, they're longer for shotgun mics and stuff, but you put this over the microphone itself. And then as the wind hits it, the wind kind of deflects all over the place. And that causes the wind to not actually go into the microphone. So that'll help you in a massive, massive way. Let's see here. Next up on our list, we've got Makeup and Mayhem. Thank you for the sticker. T-Dog Show says, I posted a YouTube short and got 1,500 views, no subs, made it private, uploaded the same video again, got 560,000 and 1,200 subs. Why? So probably what happened is you probably stopped the video before it had like its full reach. And then when you uploaded it again, one, I'm surprised they let you, but two, when you uploaded it again, I'm guessing, just the people that they were showing it to at that time, just happened to respond to it better. Hey, Nick, this is from Brioni Faith, says, hey, Nick, just wanted to say, hey, your set is looking seriously epic. High five and fist bump. High five and fist bump to you as well, Brioni. Hope that you are doing awesome. Marilyn Monroe says, can you describe your current background? It's awesome. So the background that I'm using here, it's actually a projector. So I have a beam going right over my head. Here, let me go back here, see if I can, like right here, if I go this way. Yeah, you can see it kind of hitting my head right here if I come back here. But basically, it's a projector that's going over my head and it's hitting the back wall here. So like if you look here, nope. Oh, my GoPro is like tilting all because I just went in there. But yeah, like if I go to like this shot, then you'll see there that, like I've got like logos popping up there, things like that. And that's all happening from the projector that's overhead. So basically about 10 feet that way, there's a projector there that's shooting back over here. And then I've got another, I don't know, 10 or so feet back here behind me as well, to where that, to where there's enough space to, fill up the wall and things like that. That's what's going on with the projector. And I just have looping backgrounds or looping imagery that is on there. So basically it's just switching from different things. And I've changed the colors, things like that. I've had some custom ones made as well. Some of these are just pulled from video blocks. And then I'll just go in and I'll modify the colors and stuff. But basically I take those and then I have that just basically playing a video file from my iPad. So normally it's playing from a laptop, but I was going through this like forever Windows update. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have time before the stream to finish this update. So I hooked up the tablet and now it's just running off of the tablet right now. Let's see here. As we keep going up the list here, we got Michael taken care of, our family B taken care of, science-based fitness got you taken care of there. Pro Legit Gamer says, hey, Nick, I felt very unprepared for monetization in terms of paying taxes. Can you discuss this in terms of what you need to pay taxes for? So first off, I'm not an accountant. I recommend that you do get an accountant because when it comes to taxes, that's like a whole monster within itself. I pay somebody for that too because I don't fully understand taxes at the deepest levels. So because of that, I recommend that you hire an accountant. However, if you start a YouTube channel, as soon as you get monetized or as soon as you start monetizing in some way, you are all of a sudden a business owner. And since you are a business owner, you're generating that ad revenue, right? You're generating revenue from your efforts, or if you're affiliate marketing, anything like that, anything where you're generating revenue from your YouTube channel, that additional revenue has to be claimed on your taxes. Now, of course, you can write things off. This is where you'll see a lot of content creators, typically larger channels that that are doing decent. They'll spend tons of money on like gear and things like that, and you look at them and you're like, oh my gosh, why are they getting all this stuff? Well, in a lot of cases, it's because they'd rather have that stuff than give it to the government, right? So they use some of that stuff to to actually write it off to get their the amount that they're going to have to be responsible for like down quite a bit. So so there's things like that as well. But basically, it's important just to make sure that you contact an accountant and go through the process of getting everything set up properly so that you can write things off and things like that. And you can put yourself in a really good position by talking to an accountant and having them take you through, just have them explain everything that's going on to you in terms of the options that you have. In terms of, having a business around your YouTube channel and things like that. Because like, for example, when I travel from here to the United States for conferences, like I get to write all that off. So for me, it's like, yeah, I'll upgrade my seat. Sure. Yeah, no problem. I'll upgrade my seat because I'd rather fly in comfort than give it to, Uncle Sam, so to speak. So, because of that, like I try to, reduce the amount, and by reducing that amount, I also get to do some pretty cool stuff, right? So you can look at it like, oh no, I'm making this money, so now I'm going to have to pay taxes on it. Or you can look at it like, hey, now I've got this cool opportunity. Now I've got this other thing that I'm doing. And now, I can, invest in equipment. I can invest in conferences and education and all this stuff. And I can use that stuff to kind of drive down the amount that I'm going to be responsible for. Let's see here. So next up, we've got Hawaii Turo. Says, hey, it's almost 5 a.m. in Hawaii. Love your channel. I'm growing faster and faster every month. I'm at 222 subs today. Hopefully I'm monetized by summer. High five and fist bump to you for momentum. Awesome that you're watching from Hawaii. Podcast with Chaz says,
Super chat.
Well. Love what you're doing, Nick. I'm a small YouTuber who loves a challenge. And let me tell you, YouTube is a challenge. Success to all. It is. Just like anything, Chaz, like, when you started your podcast, you went from, I have no idea how to do a podcast, what equipment's needed, where I need to host my stuff, to like, hey, now you've got a podcast by Chaz, or a podcast with Chaz, where, you can record stuff into your computer, you can edit your podcast, you can, upload them to all the different, directories and stuff, all of the things that you do around your podcast. YouTube's the same exact way. The difference is YouTube has built-in discovery where podcasting doesn't necessarily. Let's see here. So next up, and I can pull some of these as they are popping up on the screen here as well. I'm also glad that you are here at this live stream today. Roberto Blake says, hire an accountant, but I also made a few videos on this topic. If you search YouTube taxes. Yeah, so look for that. So Roberto, I know he was going to be publishing a video. Roberto, let me know if you've actually published that or not yet. But he had mentioned that he was putting together a pretty in-depth video about the tax changes for YouTube. And because of that, definitely make sure you check that out as well. So Tier Talk says, is there any disadvantages of not monetizing your channel when it comes to YouTube and how they promote your channel? So Tier Talk, here's the thing. Your channel's monetized if you like it or not. So the difference is if you're getting a cut or not. So YouTube, as of a few months ago, YouTube is running ads like everywhere they want to now, if you're monetized or not. But when you are monetized, then you have the option to actually turn them off. Where if you're not monetized or you're not in the partner program, then you don't have that option. So because of that, you have a little bit more control when you do monetize your channel compared to when you don't. So, so I would go ahead and get monetized just because they're running ads on your stuff anyway. So you might as well get a cut because you're the one doing the effort, right? Football Skills by Gaucho says, I don't know because I feel my channel setting. I don't know because I feel my channel setting. If not, how is it possible that I create content and get 1 views? And I just wanted to ask for help. So when you are making content on YouTube, it's a process that you need to go through in terms of growing the channel, growing your audience, things like that. The results that you get are going to be based on your ability to get people to click from the outside when they don't know what your video is about. They don't know anything about you. They've never been introduced to your content before. They don't know anything about you or what it is that you have to offer. They don't know that behind that click is a really awesome video or not. They don't know. So at the very first point, or the very first step with all of this, is you have to be able to get people to at least click first. If you can't get people to click, then you're done. Like right there, you have to perfect that so that you can get people to the actual video content itself, right? Without the click, then you're done. So because of that, you want to make sure that you are putting a lot of effort in learning how to make thumbnails, learning how to write effective titles, learning how to just make videos about things that people care about, and doing a little bit of research before you make a video to make sure that the content that you're putting out is something that people, will care about. And in addition to that, when people do click, once you get them past that, if they leave your video right after it starts, then that shows YouTube that people aren't into that particular piece of content, or the people that they're showing it to aren't into that particular piece of content. And because of that, then YouTube's going to not show that content as much or at all, and they're going to show content that's proven to perform in its place. Same exact things happens if you can get people to watch for a longer period of time. If you can get people to watch for a longer period of time, you can get people to click at a high rate. Then in that situation, that's showing YouTube that people, when they use their valuable real estate on a homepage and a search result next to other videos, when they're using all of that valuable real estate to show, just a handful of videos from their inventory to a particular user, your video, they can count on you to get clicks a percentage of the time, right? When you can get people to click, and they can also count on you for a certain amount of watch time on average from the videos that they're showing to people, or the particular videos that they're showing to people, and how they're responding to your particular content, right? So if they can count on you, and they know that, you know, hey, when we show this to people based on, you know, the data that we're collecting, people are responding to this, they're going to keep showing it to people. But if they don't respond to that, if the people, the human beings that are on YouTube are not responding, then in that situation, then, you know, YouTube has no other choice. The system, right? It's not being like biased. It doesn't have an attitude or anything like that. It's not trying to hold you back. It's just a simple, okay, is this one getting a response? Yes or no? Is this one getting a response? Yes or no? Is this one getting a better response? Yes or no? Is this one getting a worse response? Yes or no? And then this one will start getting shown more than this one based on this one getting a better response than this one. So, so make sure that you're keeping those sorts of things in mind.
Super chat.
Georgia Line official. Welcome to the, oops, wrong button. Welcome to the channel membership.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Next time you're on Facebook, look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. Awesome community that we're growing in there, hanging out, getting to know each other, asking questions, looking at channels, all of that good stuff. We're live over there every Wednesday right now. Let's see here. I'm going to refresh this page really quick. We got that. Okay. Got that. Okay. So I think we are up to date. I think that just brought us up to date, I believe. Okay. So now we're going to hop into the chat really quick. So if you got questions, just go ahead and just write out question and then say your question. And I'm just going to pull one out of the chat right now. And then we're going to get back right into, the forum itself. And then we'll hop back over here into the chat also. So if you got a question, you can put a Q if you want. Thanks, Luria, for that from your live stream yesterday. That makes it easy for people. So you can put a Q and then your question, or just write question and then write your question. Either one. Okay, how can I get a channel review? It says Cool Couple AC. So to get a channel review, you should be a channel member. Because channel members, that's something looking at channels it's not like an actual like review, because like an actual channel review, like an actual like evaluation or an audit, that's a totally different thing, because that, you know, requires like stats access, and you spend literally like hours behind somebody's YouTube channel looking at their stats to uncover, you know, the things that work versus the things that don't. If you're looking for that, I recommend that you hit up Roberto Blake, who's in the chat right now. I recommend that you hit up Daniel Batal, who is in here on a regular basis. I recommend that you hit up Brian G. Johnson, who is in here on a regular basis. All of them do channel reviews. Let's see here. Next up, we've got, okay, so we got the how can I do channel review, looking for question. Okay, so Doug says, from Match Point, how do you increase watch time on gaming tutorials? How do you double down on content without just making similar content with a twist? So in terms of increasing the watch time on gaming tutorials, same exact thing. Like, you got to go in and you got to see exactly what it is people care about, because just because you're making a tutorial, and I had to learn this the hard way too, just because I, do tutorials and stuff as well as the YouTube help content. So just because you're making a tutorial doesn't mean that necessarily that just because you're making a tutorial doesn't mean that the people that are going to click on that tutorial want to know everything that you have in that tutorial. So because of that, when you are putting your tutorials together, think of how you can frame that tutorial in a way that is going to attract the person that's going to watch it in the way that you want. And what I mean by that is, if you're doing a tutorial, and I'm just going to use Adobe Premiere just because, there's a lot of video editors here in the chat, so that probably use Adobe Premiere. So for example, if you were going to do like, Adobe Premiere beginner's guide, the expectation from that is going to be completely different than how to do a very specific thing in Adobe Premiere. So because of that, the people that are going to be clicking on the beginner's guide, one, they're beginners. Two, you need to make sure that you are handling that tutorial in a way that a beginner would clearly be able to understand everything that you're talking about. So you would go a little bit slower. You might have to explain in detail what some of the features are that you're going through, instead of, just jamming through all of the, different features and just saying, hey, go do this and go do this, like explaining things through, since it's for beginners, so they can leave with an understanding of what it is that's going on in the content as well. Whereas with the, hey, I'm going to show you how to do this specific thing, those people just want to know how to do the specific thing. So either you grab their attention, on a homepage or next to another video and search because they're looking for how to do that, or they just clicked on you there and they thought it was interesting, like, oh yeah, I'd like to learn how to do that. So then they click on it, then showing them how to do just that and only that is going to be, the route that you want to take. But what you want to do you want to go through your tutorials and you want to look at your audience retention. You want to just look for things like sometimes when you watch tutorials on YouTube, sometimes they're real snappy and they get you right through all the information and you're done. Other times they'll just drag on and they'll drag on and they'll drag on, and you'll get, a quarter of the way through and you're like, you know what? This has taken so long because this person keeps like talking about their cat that I'm just going to go watch something else, or I'm going to go search again and I'm going to click on one of the other videos. So, just go in your audience retention and just pay really close attention to how people are responding to how you're doing your tutorials, and then adjust accordingly. You might need to speed them up a little bit. You might need to slow them down a little bit. You might need to adjust how you're actually explaining things based on the language, on the skill level of the people that are coming in that are trying to learn the specific things that you're showing people. Those sorts of things will help you get better audience retention. Let's see here. As we keep scrolling down, let's see here. Where is the questions? Okay. So Casual Aquatic says, question, vidIQ versus TubeBuddy. Also, do you have to be a member to be on forum you're mentioning? Yeah, so for my Facebook group, it's a members only Facebook group. So you do have to be a member for that. But in terms of TubeBuddy versus vidIQ, I love this question. The reason I love this question is because both of them are fantastic tools. There's one specific thing that I use in vidIQ, and that thing is to where you can go to a competitor's videos page, and then you can click on a trending option, and it will show you like their high performing videos right now, like a views per hour type of thing. That's a great research tool. Outside of that, I use TubeBuddy for everything else. So I use TubeBuddy for my keyword research. I use it for optimizing my thumbnails, for testing my thumbnails. I use it for just general channel management stuff. All of those things for SEO purposes. All of that is like TubeBuddy has the advantage there. But for like that one thing over in vidIQ, and it's good for keyword research too, you just get a lot more with TubeBuddy than you do with vidIQ. But again, both are great tools. There's another one too called Morning Fame. They have actually a new thing that they just put out that I'm going to be making a video about soon. Morning Fame is also another thing that people use that are targeting search with their content. It basically helps train you on how to optimize your videos as well. So it's a really cool tool for that. But I'll be making a video on that soon as well. But basically, I'll just give you a rundown. So you have vidIQ, you have TubeBuddy, you have Morning Fame, you have TubeSpanner, which is on the way, by the way. You are absolutely going to love that particular one because there's a lot of stuff there that none of the other stuff has. But that one isn't necessarily going to be like keyword focused. Some of that's going to be in there, but it's actually going to be around, additional things when it comes to your YouTube channel. But you also have Keywords Everywhere as well. This Keywords Everywhere, it will show you in Google search and it'll show you in YouTube search. When you start typing something in, it'll show you general amounts of people that are, looking for that specific thing. And they'll show you CPMs as well. So if you're making videos and you're trying to get more ad revenue, that'll give you at a glance just an idea of the CPM for that. And when another thing that you can also use for that is inside of Google AdSense as well, to where they will give you their topic planner, I think is what it's called, and they'll do something similar in there as well with the CPMs. Let's see here, what else? You have Tubix, which is another one, and let's see here, what else do you have that's out there? Off the top of my head, like those are like the main ones that people are using, right now. You also have additional things like you have like SEMrush, for example. They're like $100 a month, but it's a great SEO tool, and they also have some YouTube related things as well. There's just a lot of really good tools. But in my opinion, as a YouTube content creator, I firmly believe, just like if somebody's building a house, or Roger, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to hit that right here in a second. Oh my God, dude, you're on fire. But like, 30 million views this week and should hit 300,000 subscribers next week. I'm going to stop what I'm talking about really quick.
Super chat.
And I'm just going to give Roger a round of applause. So Roger hit 30 million views. Hold on, I got to scroll down. I got to find this one here in the chat so I can pin it on the screen. So he hit 30 million views this week, and he's going to hit 300,000 subscribers next week. So the really awesome thing about this is that it wasn't too long ago. It was probably just like a couple months ago that he was in here crossing 200,000 subscribers. He's blowing up, just blowing the doors off of YouTube. So here's one of the things that Roger's doing differently than what other people are doing. So before, we had somebody asking about like reaction type content. One of the things that Roger does is reaction type content, and he does that, and it's epic stuff, and he does it all over the internet, not just YouTube. He's on like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, like everywhere doing this stuff. But his particular content, he's like, hey, I'm going to try, doing, something that's a little bit outside of what I would normally do. And he experimented, and his experiments have brought him gains that have just trumped anything else that he was currently doing on the channel at the time. That has just trumped all of that stuff. And that came from experimentation and just not being afraid to try new things on the channel. So use this message that's on the screen right now as encouragement to experiment with what it is that you're doing, because you might be one experiment away from your channel taking off and being in a situation like Roger to where you're moving along, but then you just take off like a rocket, and you're crossing 30 million views and 300,000 subscribers. High five and fist bump to you, Roger. Nice work, man. Couldn't happen to a better dude. Absolutely love it. Oops. But yeah, so I forget what I was talking about before that happened. But basically, just experiment with your, experiment with what it is that you're doing. Okay, so as we keep scrolling down the chat here, there was another one that came in. I want to make sure that I address. Let's see here. Okay, it says, I have a channel on politics and conflict. Viewers engage in debate, which means coming back to respond, but not watch the whole video again. Does this affect my watch time? How does YouTube manage this? So YouTube will know when somebody's watched the video. They'll know when somebody comes back to the video. They'll know when somebody leaves a comment. Like, all of this stuff is being tracked. So it's not hurting you in any way, shape, or form. You're actually creating threaded conversations in your chat, which is way better than just having somebody drop a thanks, right? You're creating conversations, which is keeping people on platform, which is exactly what YouTube wants. So you're fine. Don't look at that as it's a negative in any way, shape, or form, because it's not. One thing that you might see is if you have something where somebody like locks in like a timestamp, for example, and they're like, oh, what he said here is blah, blah, blah. Then in your audience retention reports, you might see like a little spike in that particular spot because, a lot of people are jumping to that particular spot. Or if somebody shares you out on Twitter, for example, and they're like, wow, this person thinks this, because it's politics. So, the opinions, fly wildly on both sides. So because of that, somebody might share it on Twitter, and they might share it with the timestamp. And then when they drive traffic into your YouTube channel at that timestamp, then you can also see spikes at that particular moment in time as well in your retention. But all that is fine, because you're giving people what it is that you want, or what it is that they want, which is, you're keeping people engaged, you're keeping people in the conversation, you keep them coming back to your videos. All of that stuff is a win. Vidamigo, that's the one that I couldn't think of. I was trying to mention that one as well, but I couldn't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Thanks, Roberto. Let's see here. And that's in regard to the big list of tools that I was talking about before. I needed to do an updated tools video, as a matter of fact. It's been a while. Okay, so let's see here. Next up on the list, Roger said all of that, he's still here learning every single week. And another thing too, like with Roger, is that like Roger, he'll be here, he'll be in Daryl's streams, he'll be, like he's just sucking in all of this YouTube information so that he can, learn like everything possible. It's funny, like, you guys all watch my content, and, you learn from me. But what's really cool is like, I'll hang out in like other people's live streams as well, and like interact there. And like, if I see like Sean and Benji live, sometimes I'll go hang in there. If I see Daryl live, sometimes I'll go hang in there. And the thing is like, all of the different perspectives and all the different, experiments that people are doing and things like that. Like, sometimes somebody will uncover something to where it's like, hey, this, oh, wow, didn't know that. I'm going to hit you up after you're live, so I can get some information on that thing that you uncovered. Right. So it's awesome, man. Always be learning. Cause if you're not, for all of us, like as soon as we stop learning, then we're done. Cause this stuff's evolving so fast. Let's see here. Doug's saying that I missed one from Javan. Advice on slow YouTube growth. I got that one, Doug. Yeah, I mentioned that one. Let's see here. And I just want to confirm. Yeah, any advice on slow YouTube growth? Yeah, I answered that particular one. Let's see here. So let's go back into the chat. So if you got a question, go ahead and drop question. Please help me. I'm from Sri Lanka. Can I target US audience? I tried, but no views. Any tips? So here's the thing. If you're targeting a US audience, you have to be able to get the people in the US to react to what it is that you're doing. So just making videos and having them in English isn't necessarily enough. The people have to respond to what it is that you're doing as well. There's plenty of English speaking channels that also don't get a response, and they are naturally targeting the US. They're in the US, they have a US channel, they're speaking native English, and they still, they still have a hard time. So the thing that you might have against you is that, and this is for Thara and Dilawa, the thing that you might have against you is when people do click on your videos, you have to make sure that they can clearly understand what it is that you're talking about. You have to make sure that, that it's good content, just like the rest of us do. If you're trying to get into the US audience, there's a standard of sorts, and you have to be able to, meet that standard. It doesn't mean that your stuff has to look a certain way. It just means that you have to be able to create a certain experience for the people that are coming through your content. Let's see here. So yeah, if you got a question, go ahead and drop it in here. Let's see here. It's crucial to learn. Okay, question. As Ayazul says, let's see here. I don't really have experience with handling money. My family doesn't have experience in using credit card last month. I got my credit card. Should I still monetize or wait until I have experience? Yeah, if you're in the partner program, then absolutely. Or I mean, if you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, absolutely. Go ahead and get into the partner program. Let's see here. So Dinah Rider 91 says, I'm at 55% in browse. I'm wanting to target search though. What do I need to do? So that's a great question. So first off, I want to let you know that a majority of the traffic on YouTube is actually the recommendation feature. So the fact that you have more browse traffic is actually a positive. However, you can get a ton of traffic from search, and depending on the type of content that you make, then in that situation, you can get a substantial amount of traffic from search, or you can just use search as one of your traffic sources. So in order to get in search or to start getting more search traffic, one of the things that you can do there, because if you're getting traffic from browse, if it's a lot, then you're already good at being compelling and grabbing people's attention, off of the homepage or off of the subscription feed, depending on which source and browse that you're coming from. But because of that, you're already halfway there, right? So now you have to think, okay, if I'm targeting search because of, I'm not sure what type of content you're making, but if you're targeting search for a particular reason, then in that case, just go to YouTube autocomplete, start typing in the things around the type of content that you make, and YouTube is going to autocomplete what it is that you're typing. And that, what they're going to autocomplete with is going to tell you things that people are looking for around the type of content that you make. So you want to make videos that are topical to that. And then you also want to make sure that you're using keywords and keyword phrases in your titles and your descriptions so that you can make sure that you're optimizing your videos for search in that particular situation, so that when you publish that video, that you are increasing its chance of showing up in search. But keep in mind that just because you're targeting search doesn't mean that you're always going to nail it. Sometimes if you do everything perfectly on the metadata side, in terms of, you have a good title, you have your keyword in there or your keyword phrase, you have that in your description. Let's say you even say it in your videos, all that good stuff. Then in that situation, you might be doing all of that right. But if you can't get people to click, can't get people to watch, then you're not going to maintain those search positions. So because of that, you have to make sure that you are able to not only grab attention there, but you're able to target it with the keywords and keyword phrases that you're going for that are high search volume, but low competition. You can use TubeBuddy for this. I've got a link to that in the description. But you can also do that, or you can just go to TubeBuddy.com, whatever. But basically, when you are doing that and you're putting your keywords and keyword phrases together, you just want to make sure that you're making content for that term if you're trying to get search traffic. So what I mean by that is, if you're just publishing videos and you're trying to grab attention from a homepage, then of course you got to be clear on what the video is about, or why somebody should care about it. But when you're targeting search, the game's a little bit different because you're not competing with the homepage, you're competing with the other people in search results. So because of that, you need to do a little bit more research. So of course, if I look for something, my search results are going to be a little bit different than if Terrestrial Vibes looks for something. And if Terrestrial Vibes looks for something, their search results are going to be a little bit different than if Rock Climbing Grandma looks for something. But even with that, there's still, you know, it's pretty similar for a lot of people. The things that will make it shift is if somebody is interacting with your channel a lot, then your search results are going to end up coming up. Like that will naturally raise you in the search results for that particular user, for example, because they're proven to respond to your content. But when it comes to search, you just have to make sure that you're able to get that response from search. So what you want to do is go into your traffic source reports for your videos, see where the traffic's coming from, not as a channel as a whole, but from specific videos, and see if you do have any videos that are getting search traffic, and then go and start looking at the metrics for those in terms of the average percentage viewed, in terms of the click-through rate, all that stuff, so that you can start to get an idea of what performance looks like in YouTube search as well. But also make sure that you research the term. You want to make sure that you are going and you're putting in the search result, or you're putting in the search term, and then you're looking at the results when or before you make your video, so that you can use all that information to make a better video. So for example, like Brian G. Johnson's in the chat right now. If I was going to, I think he's still here, but if I was going to compete with him, or Roberto's in here, I think too. So if I was going to compete with one of those guys for like a YouTube related topic, what I would do is I would go to YouTube search, and I would pick the topic, and then I would go to YouTube search, and I would see, you know, hey, are they there? If they were there in those search results, I would click on their videos, and I would say, okay, how's Brian or how's Roberto opening their video? How are they grabbing the person's attention here? Is there any way that I could do that better? Is there any way that I could, you know, add something extra to it to, you know, make it, you know, more valuable, or to make it, you know, more impactful to the viewer in terms of the things that I say when the video first opens up? Then what are they doing after that? And then I would watch their video, and I would just pay really close attention to the different things that they're doing in their video, how they're sharing the information, the words they're using. And I would start thinking, is there a way that I could do this that would help me resonate with the people that are watching, or that would be looking for this if they clicked on my video? Is there a way that I could do this that would be able to, you know, hold their attention a little bit better, or make them watch my video for, you know, a little bit longer maybe than theirs, or help them respond a little bit better than theirs? And then I would apply all of that information to the video so that I could give it a shot and see how it turned out. And then in terms of the thumbnail and the title, I would look and I would see, this is what they're doing in their thumbnail, this is what they're doing in their title. So what can I do to make mine stand out, or to make mine, you know, a little bit different, or to, you know, make mine a little bit more compelling than theirs? And if I couldn't think of something, and I couldn't think of a way to make the video better or something, then I would just walk away from that video, and I'd say, okay, I'll make a video on something else, because, you know, they nailed this one. Like, I'm not even gonna like try, because they nailed this one. They can have it. I'm just gonna, I'll go try and rank for something else. So, you know, just go and do the research first, and doing that research first is going to make a massive difference in the results that you get. Pipe Cleaner Crafts in the house. What's up? Hope you're doing great. Says browse traffic is actually great. Yes, absolutely is. Lazy Boy Gamer says, I have a gaming reaction channel, 80 subs, but my reaction vids are getting more views than my gameplay. Focus on more reaction vids. Yeah, that's what Roger Wakefield did, right up here at the top of the chat right here. And he's hitting 30 million views next week and 300,000 subscribers. So yeah, like if people are responding to that and you're good at it, because some people do reactions and they're not that great at them. Other people do reactions and they're awesome at you know, how they react. So, you know, if people are responding, then yeah, if you are, you know, wanting to do that, absolutely. Keep in mind though, you know, it can be risky. So just make sure that, you know, you are, you know, ready to dispute claims and, you know, those sorts of things, because those can, you know, come in as well. Let's see here. So John Hodges, Anything Outdoors, says, my channel is targeting the outdoor community. I fish, camp, walk through the woods, tell Bigfoot stories and other things outdoors related. My question is, should I narrow down? If you're targeting the outdoor community, fishing, camping, walking through the woods, those are all things that the outdoor community would be into. You might just have segments of the outdoor community, similar to how I have, you know, my live streaming, you know, segment. I have my mobile content creation segment, then I have my, you know, normal YouTube, you know, tip related stuff. So they're just different segments of the same audience, right? So you take that bigger audience, then you make content for different segments, but you also make content for the audience at scale as well. The Mediastic Spot, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Let's see here. This one says, why his YouTube title's all the same? It's called effectiveness. It's called figuring out what works and leaning on it. Let's see here. Monox Bluetooth says, as a starting channel, would hurt your analytics if you get more views on your live streaming compared to your short videos? No, not at all. Because like what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to get a response. And if you are getting more views on your live streaming stuff, then in that situation, people are responding to your live streams. So you should also take that into consideration and say, hey, maybe I should do, you know, a little bit more live streams. If people are, you know, are interacting with my stuff more because I'm streaming, then, you know, then you might want to lean more on streaming and less on the shorter content. Let's see here. Next, we have Ash Borland. Ash Borland says, should I name my channel after my niche or my own name? I'm a personal brand coach, so I feel my name is important, but I also want to make sure people know about the niche ASAP. So it's a really good question, Ash. And when it comes to naming your channel, a few things that I want you to think about. The most important is long-term. Like, what is it you're trying to do? What are your plans? Because like, I'll give you like a scenario here. Like right now, your channel's Ash Borland, and my channel name is Nick Nimmin, right? So in the future, if I want to start like hiring people to make content and things like that, it gets a little bit more complicated because, you know, the channel's like based on us, right? However, if my channel was, you know, like, you know, content creator tips, then in that situation, I could have anybody make content. I could reach into the community and say, hey, you want to make some content for the channel? If it's good content, then, you know, I pay X amount, start making some content, and I could start having, you know, the community make some videos. So it opens you up a lot more if you go with a, you know, channel name instead of your real name. But since you are talking about personal branding, then in that situation, I think that having your name, since you're doing it on a personal brand, that your name would be the right choice, because then you're actually practicing what you preach in that situation. And if you're growing a personal brand, then, you know, part of that personal brand is that you're building it around your name. And since it's your YouTube channel about building a personal brand, personally, I would build it around my name so that you're actually walking the walk instead of just telling people how to, you know, how to build a personal brand. You're actually doing it in practice by using your actual name for your YouTube channel. So that's the approach that I would take. Let's see here as we keep going down the list. Okay, yeah, we got this one already. Let's see here. Yes, it is. Doug just putting out a public service announcement saying repeatedly posting the same comment is spam. Don't spam. Okay, so let's see here as we go down the page. 30-day reviews. Thank you for the super sticker, my man. Hey, I saw your tweet too on the PlayStation name. It's just my name. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I was like eating while I was doing that and my food came and I never got a chance to reply. So it's just my name. Makeup and Mayhem. Thank you for the sticker. Cool Couple AC. Thank you for the sticker as well. Super appreciated. Everybody's being extremely kind today. Thank you. Let's see here. So next up on our list, I'm going to hop into the forum here, and we're going to pull another one out of here, and then we'll get back into the chat. So this one's from Blue Eyed Tech. What's up, man? Says to make a full-time, the goal of the channel is to make a full-time job doing what I love. And the question is, hey, Nick, I hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you. Hope that you're also doing well. Says, I will have time soon to do a massive batch recording, aiming for around 20 to 30 videos. Would it be best to schedule these videos for once a week, or would scheduling these videos to upload more frequently help my channel grow? Have a great day. So here's the thing. When you are batch producing your content, I wouldn't like batch edit everything and stuff like that, because what you're doing is you're committing to you're committing to making 20 to 30 videos that are the same regardless of the response that they get. So what I'd recommend is that you batch them, but when you're actually putting the content together, that you make sure that you're being flexible when you're editing the content, and that you're using the information that you're learning from your audience retention reports to apply it to the new videos that you're editing. By doing that, you're going to end up getting better results than just randomly, you know, putting out 20 to 30 videos on your topic that might not be done in a way that is proven to get a better response. So because of that, instead of just doing like a batch 20 to 30, I would batch less, and I would pay attention more to the retention, so that when you're putting the additional videos together, you can, you know, fine tune that new content to create a better experience for people as they're coming in.
Super chat.
Voice Crypto says, thank you for the super chat. Says, I wanted to be a faceless channel, but I tested my face on a few thumbnails and views blew up. Does the algorithm favor real people on thumbnails? So no. So the algorithm doesn't favor anything except for the response of their viewers. So what I mean by that is the algorithms, they don't say there's a face on this thumbnail, therefore we're going to show it to more people. Doesn't work that way. How it works is this thumbnail right here, whatever it has on it, a big word going across the screen like Brian G. Johnson does, a face plus some words, the imagery of whatever it is that you're talking about, a very well-designed thumbnail, a poorly designed thumbnail, whatever it is. If people click on it, like crazy and they watch your videos for a longer period of time, it's a great experience for their users. They're going to show it to more people. Doesn't matter what's on the thumbnail if people respond to it. So instead of thinking of YouTube, and this is for everybody, instead of thinking of YouTube as I'm working against this machine, stop thinking that way. Start thinking, I'm not working against this machine. I'm trying to get the people that are actively using YouTube to respond to what it is that I'm doing. I'm trying to make awesome content for the people that like to watch content like mine. I'm trying to grow a community of people around human beings around the type of content that I make that will come in and watch my videos on a regular basis, right? That's what you want to think about. So instead of thinking like, hey, I'm going against the algorithm here, trying to get in the algorithm, people say like, hey, I'm trying to get in the algorithm. I hear that on Clubhouse all the time, and it cracks me up because it's like, hey, if you publish a video, you're in. That's it. You're in. You made it. Right? I could make a video right now on my phone while I'm live, upload it to a channel, just an empty channel. And that particular video I would put a title on it, put a quick description in there. I'm in the algorithm. Done. Right? Mission accomplished. Woo. Done. See ya. Out of here. I'm in the algorithm now. Peace. But seriously, like, you know, like and I'm not picking on you. I'm saying I hear that on Clubhouse. I'm not saying that, you know, to you. But basically when, you know, when people say that, you know, like, hey, I'm trying to get in the algorithm, it's like, no, you like what you need to focus on is like, I'm trying to get people to respond to what it is that I'm doing. If that means in your case, if you found that using your face works better than not using your face, use your face, right? Because people are responding to that. Humans, the people that are using YouTube are responding to it. So by all means, lean on that. And use that, right? Because then if that continually happens, then that's great, because then you know and you have the proof that, hey, when I use my face and thumbs for my type of content, for my channel, for the people that YouTube is showing my content to, people are responding to it. So you know, think of the people more than you think about you know, the algorithm, because the algorithm, YouTube says the algorithm follows the audience, and that means that if people respond, then the system will follow what the users respond to. Another great perspective on this, my friend Jesse, he lives in Bangkok. He has one channel, it's like 5 million subscribers. He's got several other with like 1 million on them, several with like 100,000 on them. But basically like his perspective that he explains, you know, that same idea is that the algorithm is a mirror, right? So it reflects how people respond to what it is that you're doing. So if you're not getting a good response, then, you know, it's just reflecting back to you how people are responding to what it is that you're doing, right? And then if you're getting views, you're getting subscribers, you know, all that good stuff, then it's reflecting back that, hey, people are responding to what it is that you're doing, so you're on the right path, right? So what you need to do is, in your case, if you're finding that time and time again when you use your face and your thumbnails, people respond, then by all means, man, use your face and your thumbnails. But don't commit to it forever. From time to time, you know, experiment again. Just make sure that, you know, it consistently works. And also, don't be afraid if it doesn't work. Also don't be afraid if it doesn't work to have them without your face in there as well, right? So like all of a sudden, if you start publishing some content and the topic itself is something that's a little bit more fire and people respond to that topic, then, you know, experiment with those with and without your face as well, just to see, you know, if people respond better one way or the other. Let's see here. Next up on the list, Rock Climbing Grandma says, yo, algorithm, find my people. Oh, love it. Okay, so next up, we've got, let's see here. Let's go into here. We got Blue Eyed Tech. Let me go to the next one. So David's Dose of Italy says that they do Italian culture and practical advice in Italy. And the goal of the channel is to build an audience and eventually go full time. Question. Hey, Nick. Hey, does it make sense to put affiliate links in the video description even long after you've made the video? I've done this and have made $0 overall. It's the best strategy. Is the best strategy for affiliate marketing to make a video specifically about the product or service and then put an affiliate link in the description. Thanks. Yeah. So if you're trying to go full-time on YouTube, then affiliate marketing is one of the ways that you can do that. One of the things that you got to think about on the older videos is if you're not driving people down into the video description than just having them down there. Some people will go down there, but if you're not driving people down there, then having them down there in a lot of cases is going to end up in low sales. But if you're telling people and you're actively spreading awareness that you have stuff in your descriptions, it can be beneficial because people will go down and look in your descriptions. As a matter of fact, I've got a bunch of stuff down in this description right here, and everybody here should go down there because there's something down there for you. Some of it, it's like the YouTube Creator Academy. If you're brand new, it's free. It's put up by YouTube. That link's down there. I've got links to my video editing service down there. I've got links to other channels that come on the live stream on a regular basis down there. Other YouTube help channels you can watch. My podcast, you know, all kinds of stuff down there. So you should be down there looking at my description too on all my videos as well. But anyway, the another thing to think about too is the intent that people have when they're clicking on content. So if you're sharing information like practical advice about Italy, for example, then in that situation, if somebody's looking around for like 8 things to do in like whatever city, then in that case, if they're clicking on that video, they're looking for those things to do. They're not necessarily at a moment where they're thinking of like purchasing anything other than a plane ticket, right? So because of that, then you might want to be, you know, affiliated with, you know, travel companies and credit cards because those, you know, tend to do well. But the idea is that you want to lead people into things that they would be likely to make a purchase from. So you want to think about the journey that people are on when they're clicking on the content and the intent they have when they're clicking on the content. So that's why when you're making videos about a particular product, it can be useful, but you don't have to do a particular product. You can do like a top 10 list. If you're coming to Italy, these are 10 things that I recommend that you get before you come. And out of those 10 things, you got links to all of them down in your video description through Kit or something like that, to where it's an international thing so that you have to sign up for all the different Amazon accounts. But when they click on that Kit link, doesn't matter where they're in the world, if they buy it through the Amazon locally, then you'll still get a cut, and Kit will redirect, you know, or geo direct, I should say, them to the, you know, to the right location where they can actually make the purchase of those things. But basically, when people have the intention of, you know, I might make a purchase here, or I'm looking for information before I make a purchase, if you can jump in on that decision, then that's where you'll get a higher conversion on the affiliate side. If people are just like watching videos and just random videos, and you're not spreading awareness about anything in the video, any particular objects that you are trying to bring attention to or anything, but they just happen to be in your description, then you can't expect to get a lot of sales from that. You can get sales, but just don't expect to get, you know, a lot of sales from that approach. So one thing that you want to think about, if you are showing things around Italy, like let's say, for example, you know, you are showing, like a particular thing, like you're walking around town, or, you know, whatever it happens to be, and you have, you know, a particular pair of sunglasses that you wear, or you have a particular, pair of shoes that you wear, something like that. You make a thing about it, and you're like, you know, hey, I'm so glad I got these shoes because, you know, they feel great on my feet. I never thought, you know, look, whatever it is that you feel about those shoes, and then let people know, hey, if you want to check these out for yourself, I got a link, you know, down in the description below. You can go check it out, so that you can, you know, start spreading awareness about that down in your, you know, in your videos, that you have stuff down in your description. Let's see here. Rock Climbing Grandma says, I wonder if I could sell rocks. If you're doing rock climbing, you could sell rock climbing gear all day long. Rock climbing gear all day long. Let's see here. Excellent, dude. What's up? Hope you're doing excellent. Let's see here. Okay, next up on our list, One Mighty R. What's up? Hope you're doing great. Okay, so let's see here. So next up on our list, I'm going to pull this one out of the form. I'm also going to refresh this here because I think I might have missed one or two. Okay, I see him right here. Okay, Super Gamer X says, what percentage of CTR is considered great? So according to YouTube, the average across the platform is between 2 and 10%. They don't give us any information in terms of impressions, of what that means for impressions. So because of that, what you want to do is you want to go and you want to find high performing content in your channel, look at how many impressions that it has and what you've been able to maintain on the click-through rate based on those amount of impressions. Also look at the watch time, look at everything else around that video as well, so that you can start to identify what high performing looks like on your channel specifically. Because if I'm making videos in my space, my good click-through rate is going to be different than if I was making videos in the meme space. And if I'm making videos in the meme space, what good looks like is going to be different than if I'm making videos in the gaming space, for example. There'll be a lot of crossover, a lot of similarities, but there'll also be, you know, to where, you know, a few percent one way or the other way might be, you know, exceptional compared to, you know, the other content type. So, you know, keep that in mind as well. All right. Let's see here. So next up on our list here, Oh, and there's another one too.
Super
XXNIKZZ Xnix says, "Hey Nick, thanks for the info you upload. What do you think is the best audio improvement for a beginner? My audio is bad, but I'm on a budget." So if you're on a budget, you can get, I'm not sure if you're making videos on your phone or if you're making videos on a camera, but if you're making videos on a camera, Rode has a mic called the Video Mic Pro. Excellent microphone. And that particular microphone, as long as you're, close enough to the camera, you can put it right on top of the camera. But if you're a little bit distant from the camera, then of course you'd want to put the microphone on something to bring it a little bit closer to you. So if you are, making content where you're like talking head like this, or you're vlogging, something like that, then the Rode Video Mic Pro is fantastic. If you are doing like this type of thing to where you're like live streaming, or let's say you're playing games or something like that, then in that case, like a Blue Yeti is a microphone that a lot of people really like and say a lot of great things about. And that particular mic, I think you can also get that for around $100 and $150. But there's tons of different options out there for you for microphones. Really, the best thing that I would do if you're on a budget is I would hop on Amazon and I would look for microphones, and I would just go through and I would look at reviews, how many stars they've got, all that good stuff, how many actual reviews they have. And I would start, looking for information there on the specific thing based on your use case. Because if you're doing like screen recordings or gaming, then you would need a totally different setup than if you're vlogging, for example. Let's see here. Brian G. Johnson says, use what you got, move forward. Yeah. And on that note, the guy that we, that we published a video on yesterday, with the, Chris, where, from Retired Working For You channel here in Thailand, he got 100,000 subscribers using just his phone, using his phone camera and just the built-in audio on his phone. He didn't have a microphone attached to it, nothing. He's just walking around like this. And in less than a year, he got 100,000 subscribers. So, it's more about, you and what it is that you're doing than it is about, the gear. But of course, I mean, as you can tell by looking as the cameras, switch around the room, as you can tell, I'm a big fan of production and trying to make stuff look cool and all that. So if you want to have, the high quality audio and stuff like that, then by all means, try to do it. But I'm just letting you know that it's not something that you have to have in all cases. All right. So let's see here. Next up on our list, we've got Kingdom of Sanctimonia. Kingdom of Sanctimonia says they do a micronation channel. The goal of the channel is I want to make people join my micronation and for people to think micronations are a jocular experience. I'm not even sure what jocular means. Can somebody define that, please? Says the question, is it better to make longer videos, 20 minutes, and shorter videos, 5 minutes, when you first start out your YouTube channel? So your video length has no impact on your performance overall when you're first starting your YouTube channel, as long as you can keep people watching the video. So for example, if you have a 20-minute video, but people love that 20-minute video, your channel can do awesome. Those videos can do awesome, even if they're your very first videos. If you have a 5-minute video and people love that 5-minute video, then it can do awesome, even if it's your very first videos. However, if you have a 5-minute video and people are watching for like 10 seconds, then it doesn't matter if the video is 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, that video is still not going to do well. If people are clicking on that 20-minute video and they're watching it for 30 seconds, you can guarantee that one's not doing well. And you just wasted like 19 minutes worth of your, no, not 19 minutes, like many hours of your own time putting that 20-minute video together when people are only watching for, a certain amount of time. So what you want to do is you want to start publishing on your channel, and you want to try longer form content. You want to try shorter form content, and you want to see how your audience responds to each one. And you want to do it consistently and see how they consistently respond. And you also want to go into the audience retention for both. And you want to see, hey, I've got this 20-minute video, but how long are people actually watching this 20-minute video? Are they watching for 15 minutes? If so, that's awesome. Are they watching this for 3 minutes? Not so awesome. If they're watching it for 3 minutes, then you don't really need to make a 20-minute video. You'd be fine with like a 4-minute video or a 5-minute video. So this is where like using your stats to make some of these decisions comes in handy, because then if you're using your analytics, it's going to paint the picture for you to where you don't have to really, you don't have to really worry about, like the detail of like, hey, should I do 5-minute videos, 20-minute videos? Because you're going to have raw data based on how people are interacting with the content that you're putting out. Puneet says, any suggestions for beginners? Are ring lights a good start? So ring lights can be a good start. I'm a little weird about ring lights. If you, of course, because I wear glasses, you know, that particular thing makes ring lights difficult, but also that circle that you get in your eyes. I think that can be like a little bit weird as well. Like if you're going for that look, it's fine. Like I have a ring light, but if you're going for that look, it's fine. But if you're not going for that particular like ring lighty look, then, you know, there's definitely other solutions for you. So in terms of, you know, a light for beginners, I'm not sure what type of content that you're making, but if you hop on Amazon and you just look for like softbox, there's going to be a lot of options that show up. There's going to be like, you know, expensive options. There are going to be non-expensive options, but you can get things like, let's see here. You can see in this shot right here, and I'm going to keep flipping it back if it changes, but this thing right here with this grill on it, this is a big softbox right here. I wonder if you can see it from this shot. No, you can't. Nope. Yeah, but this right here is like just a really big softbox. And this is the only light that's hitting me right now. So I have this, and then I have lighter color things here on the screen, right? So I've got dark mode over here and dark mode here, but I have these things that are light, and I position them this way so that it helps light me up here as well from like what's on screen. So it just kind of depends on what it is that you're doing. So another thing that you can do is, I know they have like the cowboy kits and things like that, where you can buy like a pre-made kit. Or you can go to, I'm not sure exactly where you're located, but if you go to a hardware store, they also have work lights that you can use as well, to where you can get a whole entire kit for like $30 to $50 at a hardware store. And the cool thing with that is all you have to do is use daylight balanced bulbs. A specific brand that I used when I was doing this was Philips. And they have the compact fluorescent bulbs, CFLs is what they're called. And that particular bulb, you put it in. The quality of light isn't as good as you get with something like this, but it gives you enough light to where you can make any minor color corrections in your editing software to still get a good image. So I have a video on my channel. If you look for, if you go to YouTube search right now and you look for Nick Nimmin DIY lighting, then there's going to be one video that shows up to where I'm in the thumbnail and I'm wearing a hoodie. It's my Nimminati hoodie. Look for that thumbnail and click on that video, and that will show you exactly what to get at the hardware store, where you can put together a kit that's going to cost you around like $30 to $50 and will be, you know, perfect for getting you started with lighting. So I used those types of lights for the first like 4 years, maybe 5 years, first 4.5 years of my YouTube channel. They're fine. They get the job done. Booty sweat.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Love the channel name, Booty Sweat. It's great. So welcome to Nimminati. Make sure that next time you're on Facebook, you look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. That is definitely somewhere that you want to be hanging out. If you're a channel member, we look at like, you know, we give like channel feedback there. There's a queue, so make sure you put your channel in there, you know, once you get in. But, you know, we give channel feedback. Plus, you know, it's a great place to just ask questions, interact with the community as well. Just awesome group that we have over there. So make sure you look for Nimminati VIP. A girl on her passport says, "What are you using now for lighting the live?" Yeah, I'm just using this light right here. That right there. That's what I'm using. So I'm using that, and then I'm getting some ambient light from this as well. Now, I also have, like, for example, when I was on Luria's live stream yesterday from Live Streaming Pro, she's in the chat right now. When I was on her live stream yesterday, I was a little bit dark on this side because I didn't have all the white stuff on the, or all the light colored stuff here on the screen. So I have another light over there in the corner. It's just a small light that I use when I'm making my my videos. I have that one mounted to the truss, and that particular one, I can turn that one on, and then I can catch some ambient light for that one too to light up this side if I need to. But the light here, it is a Godox SL60W is the actual, you know, thing, is the actual light, and then the softbox is the thing that I put on it. All right, so let's see here. She's like, "Yep, here." The Poltergeist, love that channel name too, says, "Do you live stream with D and Dan? Our channel hit 100 subs. Thanks, bro." So I do live stream with my brother D on a regular basis. He'll hop in here. We used to live stream like every Saturday together, but he's in Mexico right now due to the current situation going on in the world. So won't be live streaming with him in person until he gets back. Let's see here. Yeah, that name will be in my head all day as well, Cliff. Okay, so next up on our list here, we've got I am Miguel says they do gaming content. The goal of the channel says they just like sharing videos. The question, I uploaded a video that got a lot of views, but that time I didn't know about tags, but now I use tags, can barely get 250 views. Please help me. So here's the thing. So tags are not going to impact negatively. Like it's not going to like cause your videos to like tank or anything like that. The only thing that can happen with your tags is that you mess up the context of what your video is about. So if you found in your situation that not using them got better results, then stop using them. Like I recommend that you use them if you use them properly, because it's a feature that's there and you should always use the features that are available to you. However, if you, in your experience, are finding that, you know, hey, when you upload without them, you get a better result, then by all means, upload without them. It's funny. There's a video that got published recently talking about, you know, like talking about tags. And they mentioned, you know, hey, you know, I published this video and, you know, I didn't have any, you know, tags, and it, you know, and it did like, you know, just as good as the other videos, blah, blah, blah. But then if you look at the video, like tags were added to it, which is kind of hilarious because the whole video is about like, you know, oh, don't worry about tags. But then the video actually had tags added to it, which is kind of hilarious. Okay, so next up on the list, and I don't mean that with any shade whatsoever. Like the person that made that video, totally respect. That person is just grinding it out and they're doing awesome. It was just that particular video. It was just one of those things that I was like, you know, I was like, oh, interesting. Okay, so next up on the list, we've got our family B. Says, channel is family-oriented, faith, food, finance, and family. Says the goal of the channel is to find our community. We want to help families love well, live wisely, and be better together. For us, replace wife's income and allow her freedom to be home with kids and do YouTube full-time. And the question, we think we probably need to niche down. It's hard, though, because we don't just want to be a food or organizational channel. We both work full-time and barely have the bandwidth to do 2 videos per week. Should we split the 2 channels and do 1 vid per week, or stick to 2 weeks on, or 2 per week on 1 channel? So if you focus on one, then you have the option to put all your efforts into that one thing, right? So all of your attention, all the communities that you're hanging around, you know, for that particular channel to grow your influence in those other places, you know, all of that stuff, when it's done around one channel, you are, you know, giving yourself an advantage there because that's where your focus is. So when you have time to allot to one channel or the other, then in that situation, you're going to have to decide, hey, you know what? We only have time this week to do 1 video. One of these channels is going to have to take the hit this week. Whereas if it was, you know, hey, we're just on this one channel, then in that situation, you know, hey, we're, you know, we only have 1 video this week, but that's okay because we already put up 1 video this week as well. So whatever, we'll make it up next week, right? So so in that situation, like the more channels you have, the more channels you have to manage, and the more channels that you have to manage, the more it takes away from the different things that, you know, from the different things that you do. It basically lessens your focus. For every new thing that you do, it lessens your focus. Let's see here. Roberto says tags never hurt you. This is always a myth. Most people are just using them incorrectly. Same way a lot of people are very bad at thumbnails. Absolutely. Let's see here. So I'm going to put the word out here. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Invite. Got to put the word out to homies here. If anybody is coming in, hold on. Just a little bit differently than I did before. Got to do this in a way that's also fair. Hold on. Like how do you drop it at the same time? Okay, here, hold on. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm basically just looking for my chat group so that I can drop the links in here for the chat group, so I can bring people in if they choose. Get them both there. Bam, bam. Okay, there we go. That was pretty much the same exact time. So let's see what happens. All right. So let's see here. So next up on our list, and I'm going to go back into the questions here. So next up on the list, we have the Poltergeist. Love that name. It's great. You know, that's an awesome thing about doing this type of thing is like I get to see all these like awesome channel names. Poltergeist. Like how creative is that? That's awesome. Okay, so horror content review, even better because the type of channel. I mean, come on, right? Horror content channel review. Goal of the channel is to help viewers select horror film, hidden games from streaming sites like Shudder, Amazon Prime, and get into the partner program. The question is: obtaining 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers in 12 months a realistic entry requirement, or has YouTube made this intentionally difficult? Yeah, dude, it's a realistic entry requirement without question. Like, it's super realistic. People that think that it's not realistic are people that are just not willing to like learn how to do stuff. But yeah, without question, it's super, super realistic. Let's see here. Okay, so here we go. So I know you guys enjoyed the intros last week. Got some more for you this week, and then I've got some others that are still being made. Okay, here we go. Ready?
In a competitive world, the woman who wants to help you make live videos that are uniquely you. Luria from Live Streaming Pros.
What is going on?
Oh my God, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so I hit her up a while back, and I'm like, hey, what are your favorite movies, stuff like that. And I was trying to get like a list of movies. So I'm trying to like theme some of the stuff around like movies and like inside jokes and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? Just a good old fashioned epic movie voice. Like, let's roll with that.
That was
right?
pretty good. That was pretty good. As Paul is pointing out, Paul Dixon, my graphic designer, the magical Mr. Paul Dixon, says the woman with her own action doll. He is absolutely right. I have my own action doll.
Paul Dixon the Great. I think we can just call him that, right? Paul Dixon the Great.
His name is the magical Mr. Paul Dixon. I have a mug and a T-shirt that says so.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the magical Paul Dixon. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go.
Our next guest registers a 9 out of 10 on the Clooney scale, but he'll also help you leverage YouTube for your business. Ladies and gentlemen, Owen Video.
Oh, wow.
Sunglasses.
What's going on, Owen Video?
Oh, my goodness gracious. That was an intro to end all intros. That was epic. That was
Have you heard Roberto's? Have you heard Roberto's?
No.
Roberto's is epic. Yeah, like Roberto's is the intro to end all intros. But that one was good, but Roberto's is like epic. Crazy.
Unbelievable. This
Star Wars fans anyway, it's epic.
Oh my God. This channel just blows my mind. I love being here.
I love you.
Leave your sunglasses on the whole time?
Hey, his future's bright. He's got to wear shades.
Yeah, I'm really wasted. I've been, Nick, that's a better joke. Darn it. Nick kept it motivational, and I went into the gutter like right off the bat. But future's so bright. I spent all morning watching. I started a new channel on Amazon Alexa, and what's
the channel name for all those in the chat that have Amazon Alexa?
Thank you so much, and I won't say her name, which we shall not mention anymore. For Miss A, as they say, it's called Life Automated, and that's the new channel. We just got it off the ground, so I've been spending all morning watching my fellow automation brothers watch videos, and I'm realizing just how good the creator pool is right now. Like the creators on YouTube now are better than they've ever been before, and I just can't wait to see YouTube like overtake Netflix and Prime and some of these other things. So if you're a smaller YouTuber, like the future is yours. Go get it. Go get it, folks.
All yours.
Yep. Sounds like we're gonna get to hear Roberto's here in a minute.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's Owen's channel, by the way. I just dropped it in chat for those of you that have a home smart device, but only go over there if you have a home smart device and you're wanting to learn about that kind of stuff. If you're not, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, please. Absolutely. Lesson number one.
Lesson number one, right? Got to keep that audience right.
Yeah.
Right? Got to keep that audience right.
Straight and narrow. You're helping. Nick is like my sponsor, kind of like, how like you have people you go to and you're like, I screwed up. I made a video that's not for my audience again. I made a video that's for my peers and my colleagues again, and to impress them and not for the audience. And Nick's like, well, you know what you're supposed to do. Let's go to a meeting. You know what I mean?
Let's go to a meeting.
I need that in my life.
So good. All right. So the next question that we have here on the list to bring us back on track is pre-built. Says that they do gaming tutorials. The goal of the channel is to make games easier by explaining it in depth. And the question, is it normal for your retention to drop like 30% in the first 30 seconds?
For me, it is.
All right.
I mean, you're always going to see some drop, but
So what you see is a drop. But when that, like the goal is to stop the drop as high as you possibly can. So basically, with all the people that YouTube is showing your content to, of course, it's not going to be a perfect fit for everybody that clicks it. So because of that, you know, you'll see a drop, but the better you get, the higher up you're going to be able to stop that drop. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you're experimenting with, you know, with your, like how you're actually opening your videos, how you're grabbing attention, all of that good stuff, because that's going to be the thing that's going to stop that drop, right? So in terms of being normal, sure. Yeah, you'll see that a lot. But the goal is to stop it as high as it possibly can.
Right.
What's the, do we know an average on that percentage of?
I do. I have it not in my brain, but I actually did a whole presentation on this. Yeah, I got a bunch of data from TubeBuddy. Yeah, and basically through that data from TubeBuddy, I found out, I might have it actually here on the computer somewhere, but I found out I've got a lot of averages for different lengths of content. I actually just opened up my PowerPoint here to see if I have it available, and it doesn't.
While you're looking that up, I'll say this, you know, whatever it is that you're doing in the opening of your videos and you're getting that drop, like do the opposite of that right now and do that 5 times, because it's not enough to just do it in the next video. You need to do it in a handful of videos to see if you can duplicate the results. So like, for example, on my channel, I always open up on the Owen Video YouTube coaching channel. I always open up with like, today we're going to talk about da-da-da-da-da. And it's just like this massive drop that I'm used to. So we're now opening up all of our, the next for the foreseeable future with B-roll and voiceover. And we're doing that because we've seen in our analytics, we get spikes. Now, this is just the first 30 seconds, but we see spikes in our watch time when we show screen clips. So it's like, if people like screen clips, let's open up with screen clips, you know, and then we'll bring my face, which is what I want to see all the time, you know.
Well, of course.
Well, everybody does.
Right? That's what I mean, yeah, that's why you have an intro based around your Clooney scale. Man, right?
So epic. I freaking love that. I love that. Because that joke, for you guys that don't know, that joke, Clooney joke, goes way back. And it's like good times when we were able to get together and do fun stuff. But you know,
this is really important to notice, right? So maybe that's working for Owen, but you know, Nick is always saying test and experiment, because for me, I've tried that before and I remember it working terribly for me, right? So you gotta take all of the advice and then sort through it, figure out, you know, how to experiment with your own channel to figure out what your audience likes.
Yeah, that's key. And we talked about that. Luria and I we did a show yesterday, and or 2 days.
Nick was on my show yesterday.
Yeah,
2 days ago.
Look, they all blur together,
like elbowing each other. Like, no, I was on the show yesterday. I was. What are you doing? I was there yesterday.
Fight.
The Stooges. Yes. Another knockout. Testing everything.
When it comes to making great-looking content, our next guest will take you to new heights. The impartial geek, David Foster.
Woo!
Yo!
You made it.
I made it.
What's going on?
Look at that set. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just getting the day started. Haven't had my coffee yet.
Oh, are you kidding me, dude? I'm like 3 coffees in.
I only drink decaf, so.
What? Why would you do that?
Really?
Because I like the taste.
Wow. Yeah, I'm the same way with Mac. It's the flavor. It's nothing else.
Yeah, some people actually like to taste the coffee.
Like, I don't really love the taste. For me, it's more about like, hey, this is going to give me like a little bit of a kick. So like, sure, I'll take it, right?
This shall make me happy. Hey, Nick, what's going on in your background? Is that a TV? Is that a monitor or a projector?
It's a projector. Yeah. So
every time I feel like I'm making inroads.
So basically what it is there's a projector about, you know what? I'll give you a quick GoPro tour. How does that sound?
I love it.
Yeah. 1 second here. Got to unclamp it. You guys can feel free to talk. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, you know, like I'm building a new Alexa background. I'm sitting here in like a square studio, and I've got room over there for a set. And I've got it set up, but I feel like the background needs some oomph. You know, it needs like some kick.
So here's the projector is right up there. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but it's over there. And then basically that's skimming right over my head, and then it's hitting the wall back there. So the GoPro is a little bit dark, so you can't see like tons of detail there. To where like, this shot, of course, is just a brighter shot, so you get to see a lot more. But you know, that's pretty much the.
Did you design that loop?
I have, I think, two or three custom ones in here, and then the other ones I got off of Video Blocks. And with those particular ones that I got off of Video Blocks, I still went in and like modified the colors, slowed them down, because a lot of them were like really fast, bouncing all over the place and things like that. And I just wanted to keep it all, you know, like slow and, you know, all of that good stuff.
Dude, it's incredible. Like you set the bar, and that's what I love about what you do here is you're engaging, you're teaching, but you set the bar too. And I'm a competitive person. Like I like to see people like, and we're buds, right? So it's not like, dang it, Nick, stupid Nick face. You know, it's like, okay.
That's what he really says. That's the messages I get anyway. Yeah.
The DMs, like, damn you know what I mean? But I love to see, okay, now how can I like expand my thinking? You know, how can I do something, you know, back here at the video marketing school? Like maybe have a Kool-Aid man jump out of this in a loop every now and then. I don't know.
That would be perfect.
I'm playing with it. You know,
yeah, that'd be good.
So
just have to redo the wall every week. You've got like a drywall dude on standby. Paul, yeah, you're like, hey, every Saturday morning, I need you to come and fix my drywall because we have a stunt Kool-Aid guy jumping through.
Brand deals. That's how you get brand deals.
Right so there. Did you have to dim all that in order for it to look that way? Because usually those things are pretty bright. You know what I mean?
In the back,
the projector.
So the projector's bright, and I put the screen on the softbox here, or the grid, so that it would, you know, kind of keep any light from hitting back there. But it's on a black wall. So since it's on a black wall, some of that light's getting absorbed when it's hit. And because of that, it's, you know, not as bright as it would be if it was on like a screen or something like that. If I had a white screen back there, or even a black projector screen, then, you know, the tech from the actual screen itself would help it be brighter, but it's just hitting a wall. So it's awesome. It's just like a matte black wall.
It looks really good.
Yeah. Thank you. So next question that we have to get us back on track here, we've got Mommy Room Redo says, oops. Brother's not coming in yet. Let me go back to this other screen. Hold on. There we go. Says, following your tips, minimizing intro, changing my thumbnail, and posting regularly, but views and subscribers are low. What things can I do now to help? So let's see here. Minimizing intro, that's good. Changing your thumbnail. Keep working on your thumbnails because you got to keep getting people to click. And posting on a regular basis is important because it's going to help you develop skills, and it's going to give you more chances to put out content that people are going to respond to as you develop those skills. So you're doing the right things. Just keep doing those things and keep paying attention to how people are responding to the changes that you're making. So you don't want to make the changes and then be like, done, that's it. You want to make the changes and then pay attention to how people respond to those changes, and then keep, you know, trying to experiment with what it is that you're doing until you uncover the things that people respond to at a little bit higher rate. But keep in mind that, you know, the things that you're doing right now in terms of minimizing your intro, changing your thumbnail, posting regularly, like minimizing your intro is helping with your retention, and changing your thumbnail and, you know, working consistently in your thumbnails is going to help people click. So you're working in the right areas, right? So just keep walking that path, keep doing what it is that you're doing, and you'll be fine. Just make sure that you're paying attention to the changes that are happening as you are making those changes as well.
What do you think about like duplicating successful content? You know, we talk a lot about changing and testing, but when you've done a video that works, you know, for example, one of our clients did a video on moving to Panama. And so I said, do another video on Panama, right? So now he's got this whole series on Panama, and these are the videos that take off. Like he's working on other series. You know, what do you think, Nick, about like digging into a topic that has worked in the past?
I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great because YouTube even recommends, like if you start basically in the YouTube Creator Academy, YouTube says that if you're starting a YouTube channel and you don't know what kind of content that you want to make, just make whatever you want to make. But then as soon as you notice something starts to work better than the other stuff that you're doing, double down on that, which is the same concept that you're talking about. So basically, like as you find things and you uncover things that people respond to, right there, that's that your road is being laid in front of you. because that's saying that the people that YouTube is showing this content to because they think they're good candidates for it, those people are responding to what it is that you're doing. So therefore, YouTube's going to try to find more people like those people that are also going to, that they're also going to show that content to as well.
Yeah.
So, so because of that, that's a fantastic approach. And Owen, I think this one's directed at you because I know that you've helped him with this a little bit as well.
Sorry, before you go into that, I actually have to hop off and go make an emergency phone call. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for having me on. I do appreciate it.
Okay, no problem at all. Thank you for coming on, Luria. Appreciate it as always.
Bye.
See ya. So, how do you get brand deals, Owen? This is
man,
you.
Great question, guys. So, like, we have a lot of content on our channel at Owen Video about brand deals, and really, you know, our specialty is helping like the lesser known creator get brand deals. And there's a couple things. First of all, Roger and I have worked together in the past on a brand deal project, which ended up being a 6-figure deal. And so, you know, congratulations to Roger for really like setting the bar on how to do this. But look, like even if you're under 1,000 subscribers, you could be getting brand deals. Here's a couple things I want you guys to think about. Is number one is that you should not be thinking about GoPro, Johnson & Johnson, Mattel, Nike, like you should Oreo, V8. You should not be thinking about those companies. Okay. Even if you've got 50,000 subscribers, you're still not in their eyesight yet. They want 5 million, 10 million subscribers. What you want to be thinking about are smaller companies that want to get into video, YouTube, and influencer marketing, AKA every small company. Every company out there wants to get involved in video, but here's what they don't have. They don't have a videographer. They don't have an editor. They don't have the skills or the money or the time or the expertise to hire those roles. They don't even know where to begin. And most of them, I think you guys could probably get this, like they've hired videographers in the past to make a video that looked awesome, but nobody watched, right? So because it didn't get promoted, it just got made by a film school graduate. Right? Which is great, but it's not the goal. The goal is to get views and to get people to click on it. So how do you guys get brand deals? Number one, focus on smaller companies. Look at the people that are advertising in your local magazines, like Get One Free or the, I don't know what they're called anymore, like the Penny Saver, you know, the coupon books, you know,
those still exist.
Yes, they do. And that's exactly my point. It's like direct mail, huh? Like these are people that don't get it. So get them into a new thing. Say like, look, I saw your thing in the coupon. Like, dude, direct mail. Come on, let's talk about YouTube. Right. So that's the transition conversation. People advertising on billboards, people advertising on park benches, like get them out of that realm and talk to them about being a YouTube influencer or like having videos on YouTube. And that's where you say this. You say, look, I can make videos on my channel about you, or I can do videos for your channel. I can help you start a channel because all of you guys out there are YouTubers. And I'll tell you this, professional YouTubers, full-time YouTubers, like all of us here, like not only do we build our own channels, we appear on other people's channels. We do sponsorship videos. We do spokesperson videos. Like we're the name and the face of a brand. So don't limit your thinking, right? Don't limit it like, oh, I got to do a shout out for $10,000. No. Like charge the brand $1,500 for 3 videos that you make in your house all about them, and you give it to them, you're done. And they just got 3 videos for $1,500. That is a bargain for them. Now you've positioned yourself as like, what do we do next? How do we rank them? How do we get them found? And you've got next month's money and next month's money and next month's money. So I know that's a lot to digest, but I do want to like stress the idea of thinking differently, thinking smaller. And remember that you have a skill that every business owner wants right now. You just got to go out and like talk to them about it. Send emails, send 10 emails a week. You'll get brand deals.
Well, and also brands themselves are starting to look for micro communities. So that's a new thing that people are doing. So, 100%. You know, they want these smaller communities because what they're realizing is the smaller communities actually have more influence than these huge influencer communities. Yeah. It's a numbers game for them, of course, but like you just have more loyal viewers and community in those micro communities.
Good. That's really good.
And with that said, it's also important to know that you want to be mindful as well that there are, and I have to say this, and I don't like taking this, angle on things, but when I was in a Clubhouse room, I tweeted about this, I think it was like last week, but I was in a Clubhouse room and there was like this group of marketers, these Instagram folks in there, and they were talking about, like how to, basically the topic of the room essentially was focused on how they can, they weren't saying it this way, but as a content creator, this is what I heard. How can we take advantage of new content creators that don't really know what's up and that don't really know what it is that they're worth yet? How can we take advantage of them to get them to shill our products for us? Like essentially that was the approach that they were taking. Like the advice in there was just find something cheap that you can give them, like verbatim, find something cheap that you can give them and they'll just make the video for free.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, whoa. So just be mindful that, you know, people also like there's some really awesome people that understand like, hey, this person's putting wear and tear on the camera. They're taking their time. They're, you know, they could be promoting something as an affiliate, whatever, but instead they're making this for us. So we're going to make sure they're compensated for it. There's those people. But then there's also the polar opposite as well. So just make sure that you're being mindful when people reach out and they're trying to give you free stuff. Make sure it's stuff that, you know, that you actually want or that you would spend money on, you know, anyway, or, you know, those types of things, because there are people out there that are trying to take advantage of you as well, just because you're new, just because you might get excited when they use the word sponsor in an email title, where and what they're really trying to get you to do is like, come on as an affiliate where they're not even sponsoring you. Then in that situation, if they're like, hey, you know, we want to sponsor your video, all you have to do is sign up for our partner program. Every sale that you send, then you get a commission for that. What I want you to do when you get those emails is sit back and think to yourself, okay, this might be a great fit for my audience. I might want to sign up here, but before I do, let me do a little bit of research and make sure that this is the best thing that I can share with my viewers. If it's not, then I'll sign up as an affiliate somewhere else where I can bring the best thing to my viewers, because it's the same exact thing. You're just removing them from that equation. But you'll get some people that reach out, and those people, you know, they'll have really cool stuff that you'll want to sign up as an affiliate for. So I'm just telling you all this so that you can make sure that you're mindful when, you know, when you start getting some of these emails. So, another thing, since we are talking about brand related stuff, is when you are setting up your YouTube email, your business inquiry email, you should set up, especially just go ahead and start doing this. You know, if you're a new content creator, go ahead and set up like a filtering system of sorts where you have your business inquiry email just goes to like a general email box. That's where like your viewers are going to be reaching out, and initial brands and people that are trying to get you to do whatever are going to reach out to you. But then have another email address that you actually move the serious conversations into. So if you have somebody that you're actually going to be doing business with, then you move them into, you know, an email that's for that. If you have, you know, somebody that you're going to be collaborating with, and you move them into an email for that, so that you start building up these emails, or, you know, these email accounts based around the specific use that you're using them for, instead of everything dumping into one email account. This will also help you keep your YouTube channel safe as well. Because then hackers can't look at that business inquiry email address and be like, oh, well, I know the starting point here, because it's not the actual real starting point. So just some quick tips.
We have a video coming out next week on our channel, and it's called something like when to accept free products and when to ask for money. And we have a script in that video for how to respond to a brand that offers you free, like how to say no, how to say thank you, but I would need to get paid in addition to the free product, right? Because you need the product. Like, how are you going to make a video about a product you've never tried? It's like, well, of course I need the video, I need the product, but there's a time to say no, and then there's a time to say yes to that. And so if you guys want to check that out, you know, we're going to have a lot of content on that coming up soon.
And that's on the Owen video channel?
It is. That's on the YouTube coaching channel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's on that. I've got a link to that down in the description below.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Krista Stylista, love that channel name. Welcome to the Nimminati. Next time you're on Facebook, look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. If you're a channel member, you definitely want to be in there. Christina Smallhorn in the house. What's up? Hope that you're doing awesome. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. So next up on our list, if you've got a question, let's go ahead and pull some of these directly out of the chat as well. If you got a question, go ahead and just put a Q in front of the question and just put your question. And then we'll go ahead and pull some out of there, out of the chat as well, for those of you that have been hanging out. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for some of those to come through, we've got the Anatomy Gal says that they do educational content. The goal of the channel is to become an authority on the subject matter. And the question is, any tips for growing super niche educational channels? I'll pass it to you guys.
Great question.
Whoever wants it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like anything that you're trying to do, it's all about, I mean, it's just a strategy, no matter what it is. It's focusing on your titles. It's focusing on like what the solution that you have to a problem. So you just have to always think about every title, every video is like, what problem are you solving with that video? And what are people looking for to find the solution to that problem? So it's like your title is the problem, your video is the solution.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to approach, and even live video, you have to approach any kind of content you're doing on the internet. You have to approach it with that kind of thinking.
Yeah, it's really good. I'll give you, here's how we start our clients out is the 5 W's. And I know they're not all W's, so give me a break, but it's,
it's the 5 W's and only one's a W, but
there's a Q in there somewhere. It's what, where, why, when, and how to. And so if you can kind of like make 10 titles in each of those categories, that's 50 titles. And I'm not saying you have to produce each of those. In fact, they might even repeat. But what it does is it gets your brain going and thinking about what are the questions that your audience is probably typing into a search engine. And just by putting like how to on a Google Doc and then be like, how to do X in niche and how to do Y in niche and how to accomplish A in niche and things like this, they might give you some ideas that you can then take to TubeBuddy, right? And you go into TubeBuddy and then you see like which of these would rank at a very good or an excellent level. And I would say start there. A great place to go to get your memory jogged. And I'm a huge fan, like never visited the site until a month ago. And I'm on it every morning and every night now is Reddit. Like I am a major Reddit.
Welcome.
Now. Yeah.
Welcome to Reddit.
Subreddits all day long. Like I'm in an Alexa subreddit group that I love. It's not just about sharing my content. It's about like, oh my gosh, this guy's doing cool stuff. Or that girl knows so much about this. Like there's real community there. And so you're kind of hearing the way that they would word their questions. And it's like, oh my gosh, that would make a great video. Right. So those are two big suggestions, especially for niche education channels.
Boom. Yeah. Also, just at the end of the day, what you're doing in your situation, if you're trying to become an authority on the subject matter, is you're just trying to solve a bunch of problems solve problems that the people that you're trying to reach have. And because of that, all you have to do is go to YouTube search, start typing in, things based around the type of content that you make, and you're going to see what all those problems look like. And like Owen said, being on Reddit, in places to where you're embedding yourself in the communities around the type of content that you make, you're going to get really familiar with all of the different things that the people you're trying to reach care about. And by helping them solve all of those problems is going to position you as an authority over time. So, at the end of the day, that's the approach that you want to take is you just want to, research the topics before you make them so that you can make sure that you're making things that are actually solving problems and embed yourself in the community so you can get really in tune with the things that the people you're trying to reach actually care about. Because, like for us, for example, like in my case, right? Like people think that, like on the YouTube views thing, like, just make a video about YouTube views. Sure. But, YouTube views isn't ultimately the only thing people want. People want all the things that come because of YouTube views, right? So because of that, I have to make sure that when I'm making videos about YouTube views, that I also will drop subtle hints about that kind of thing as well. So make sure that, the content has a little bit more of an impact than just talking about the views and not dropping in those little tiny tidbits of, information in the content. So, it's really important to help you understand your audience at a deeper level than just like what it is that they're looking for, so to speak. Yeah. So the next one, Legit Beast 9000 says, I want to start streaming gaming videos. I want them to be fun and informative streams. I'm looking for advice on which is the best platform to be on. Thank you.
I would say Twitch and YouTube. I would try to multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube. I tell you, streaming is huge. My kids are watching streaming channels right now. I enjoy watching streaming channels as an adult. My brother is doing a streaming channel, and I think that it's necessary that you have an edge, like you have like a thing that you're doing. Like it's not just, for example, Preston Plays is one of our family favorite channels, and he's always got like a prank that he's doing on someone big, like Mr. Beast, or he's showing you how to build something you don't know how to build. So that's like his edge, right? Like, I think if you're going to do a gaming channel, you got to have like where you'll learn how to do X, right? Or Y or whatever. You got a thing that you do. But I would think that Twitch and YouTube would be great places to sort of like multi-stream a gaming channel.
Yeah.
David, you have something to say?
Well, I just like
he's just like looking. He's like, yeah.
Well, I'm process. That's how my process. Like I'm processing the final words. So, so with Twitch, like I always tell people, you have to have a different strategy with Twitch because you're not going to grow on Twitch. You're not going to be discovered on Twitch. And so, what I see Twitch as for my community, we've been using it as a place for people to practice because, you know, you're not really, because you have to have a strategy that isn't on another platform in order to lead people to your Twitch. So you want to have, you know, videos that you're doing on YouTube or live streams that you're doing on YouTube and then leading people to Twitch because Twitch has zero discovery. So, you know, it's just a little bit harder to build an audience over there. So like YouTube right now, actually my newer members, I've been sending to Facebook. So to grow like YouTube. Oops, sorry. Started getting
that was me. I opened a window and because I was looking at my description here really quick. So I opened up a window and you overtalked yourself, which is hilarious. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. So I've had people doing really well on Facebook because it's like Facebook is a place where you're kind of like like so on YouTube and Twitch, you're kind of this little fish in this huge pond. Whereas Facebook is kind of like a medium-sized pond and you can be a medium-sized fish. And I've had people having pretty good success with starting things over there because Facebook is working on a brand new page experience. Whereas when you're out there and you're being social and you're going into groups and everything, there's a little follow link right next to your name now. And so people don't even have to try to find you. If you're adding value to a conversation, if you're in groups, and for instance, there's one of my community members named Xanthi. She does WordPress tutorials. She can go, when she gets this new thing, she can go have conversations in WordPress tutorial groups. And if she adds value, people are gonna be like, wow, this girl knows what she's talking about. They can follow her right from her name. So me, myself, being social the way that I already was on Facebook, going out and commenting on content that I'm interested in, like the Nerdist and movie stuff, you know, because I do kind of geeky stuff. Yeah, I've gained 30 to 60 followers a day doing that. And so, you know, it's really kind of for the new person, it's a free way and it's not as hard as it is. Like you don't need the same kind of strategy that you do on YouTube. YouTube is a very strategic game. Like you can't just go on YouTube and be like, live show Friday, welcome, and think you're going to grow an audience. You have to be very strategic with keywords and titles and stuff like that in order to grow on YouTube. And Nick, you of course know this.
Yeah, like the in my opinion, in terms of deciding which platform to go on, how David talked about discovery a second ago, like that's a big part of it. Because you know, like with Twitch, it's harder to get discovered because they don't have all the built-in features that YouTube has. Yeah. Like when it comes to YouTube, the win with YouTube, not to carry the flag per se for YouTube, but it is an awesome platform on the discovery side because basically they have rules in terms of you just got to make content that people respond to. But once you do that, then, you know, they open the floodgates. And what I mean by that is those floodgates might be, you know, 100 views a day. It might be 10,000 views a day. It might be 1 million views a day, you know, if you're on like the, you know, super high end of that. But the thing with YouTube is they're actively trying to find content on their platform that certain users are going to enjoy. Yeah. And because of that, they're scouring, the system is constantly scouring the platform for content that a particular person, based on the things that they're watching and they're not watching and the channels they're subscribing to and the videos they're liking and the things they're commenting on and all that stuff, like they're compiling all that information. And then it's basically running through their, you know, portions of their content library to find good content for that particular user. And that can be a video from 10 years ago, or it can be a video that was published 2 minutes ago. Sure. But if it's a good fit for that viewer, the system's going to take it and it's going to put it in front of that viewer somewhere and see if that person responds to it. And there's not a lot of places that do that. YouTube actually is the only one. So, you know, TikTok, of course, you know, you can get a lot of traffic there as well, but they don't necessarily have all the discovery options. They just have they have like search and then they have the For You page. And Owen, you're on Twitch, so correct me, or on TikTok. So
hashtags. We just published a video on our channel about the hashtag strategy we use. Hashtags, I think, are the best discovery tool on TikTok. And I strongly recommend for YouTubers to be posting TikTok content to get that cross sort of germination going. I get a whole lot of followers from my TikTok channel. The thing about hashtags, it's my #1 discovery tool on TikTok. But it's not ever going to be like hashtag FYP or hashtag funny. You know, I was just talking to Drum Class Josh. You guys know,
yeah.
So he was like, how do I get out of here? And it's like, bro, you can't just put like drum lessons. You got to put like, because he was drumming to a jacuzzi bit, and it was cool. But I was like, you got to put like jacuzzi time or jacuzzi fun. you know, that's going to get you, you can compete with that. And so I think that TikTok is really close to the YouTube algorithm, but I agree wholeheartedly that YouTube is unique in its discovery process. With that, I got to go. I got a client call right now. Love you guys. Love the audience. Thanks guys for being here today.
Thanks for hopping on, dude. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. And another thing too with, what'd you say?
And then there were two.
And then there were two. With the last person to leave wins. No, kidding. So the so another thing with TikTok also is that, you know, the actual content itself, because it's shorter form content. Like if you're somebody that's into making long form content, then YouTube is the place for you. But if you enjoy the short form content, then now you can do it on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and everywhere else. So so because of that, the advantage there is it gives you the opportunity to create one piece of short form content and distribute it kind of all over the place compared to
remove the stupid logo. If you're going to repost TikTok content, remove the logo. I hate that. Like I'll swipe away, even if it's funny. I'm like, you have no respect for the other platform. You have to make content for the platform. You can use it both places, but make it look like it's native, please.
Yes. Next up on our list here, let's see here. So we're going to pull this one out of the form. And the next question that we have here is from Match Point. Match Point says they do gaming tutorials. The goal of the channel is to educate players about the game and to help them improve. Question: how do you increase watch time on gaming tutorials? I always struggle with that. Is there a way to, we did this one already. How do you double down on content without just making the same content? Yeah, we already answered that one. So next up, we've got the Giant Narrator. Says that they do gaming, comedy, crazy, weird discussion. And the goal of the channel is to have fun and share my thoughts on events. And the question is to make my video more popular. So the goal of the channel is to have a lot of people like watch your video, I'm guessing, because if it's to have fun and share my thoughts on the events, if that was the actual goal, then by making the content itself, mission is accomplished. So, so because of that, like, you know, that's one of the things, that's one of the side effects, but I would dig a little bit deeper to figure out like what it is that you're actually, you know, that you're actually trying to do with the channel. But in terms of making your videos more popular, it comes down to response. So the thing that, you know, we say here all the time about, you know, making sure that, you know, you are paying close attention to your analytics so that you can identify the places where you are not getting the response that you would like in terms of your click-through rate, how people are watching, people completing your videos, all that good stuff. You know, paying really close attention to that is going to make a really big difference. As long as you take action on the information that you're seeing in your analytics, it's going to make a really big difference on the results that you get. And the funny thing is, people know that, but a lot of people are, you know, they just don't want to actually go in and roll up their sleeves and you know, figure it out. Unfortunately,
that's what I did a video not too long ago about on quitting, like people that quit. And it's like, you look at the thousands and thousands of people that are like, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a blogger. And they start this, they put in all this work and they make 5 videos and they're like, well, this doesn't work.
Right.
This is not, I'm not famous yet. Are you kidding me?
All of this work,
these 12 hours I put into this.
Yeah.
When it's like, you know, some of us, I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years now, creating content, and I've had way more fails than I've had. I mean, it is such an ebb and flow thing. And you have to be, you know, you have to commit to yourself. The commitment is the hardest part, committing to yourself and committing to, you know, if your desire has to outweigh your goal, or your desire has to outweigh, well, you just have to have the desire is what I'm getting at. Because if you don't, then you're going to quit and it's not going to happen. And this is like, there are people, you'll be doing this for 3 years and might not see any success. You know, I mean, you could have minimal success, but where you're making an income and all this other stuff. I mean, go back and look at, like, you can go to the YouTube channels and look at videos by date posted. Go back and look at your favorite YouTuber and go look at their oldest videos and look how they started and how long ago they started. Like Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, it's like 10 years ago. And he was just doing reviews of things he had in his house. I always find it so neat to go back and look at people's old videos because it shows you the grind that they went through to get where they are.
You know, there was another question that came in the chat, but we were having another conversation, so I didn't get a chance to get to it. But they were talking about the actual question that they asked was like, how do people develop their like YouTube personality? And, you know, one of the things that you'll see when you do go and you watch a creator's like first videos compared to like, you know, what it is that they're on now, you will see a shift. And the funny thing is that shift is more based on like confidence than it is like anything. It's based on confidence. And then of course, you know, trying to perfect over time, you know, how you communicate and things like that. But ultimately, you know, it really comes down to confidence. You know, when people first get started, they're a little bit timid. They are not sure if it's going to work out, things like that. But once things start working out, you start getting all of this reinforcement behind you, and your confidence in what it is that you're doing just starts, you know, exponentially growing, because you're like, hey, you know, I'm doing this. I'm, you know, like I'm adding value or whatever. Or people are digging my stuff. I'm getting views. Like I'm doing the thing. And, you know, and you have that confidence behind you, which then will change, or it'll modify how you communicate a little bit. It'll make you a little bit more certain in the things that you say, and it'll make you a lot more comfortable on camera and that sort of thing as well, once you start getting some of that reinforcement. So I think one of the things that separates some channels when they first come in is some people will have that like right out of the gate. Like they'll just come in and they're like, hey, like this is the thing. And those people will typically do okay, just based on the fact that, you know, they have an awesome camera presence. So, you know, those sort of things do matter. But in terms of developing the personality, Roger Wakefield says right here, always try to be yourself. It's so much easier that way. Absolutely. But in terms of developing that personality, like the thing to stack onto what Roger's saying right here, the thing with that is what ends up happening is that confidence that you get, it just helps amplify like who you are, because then you're more confident in being who you are, because people are responding to who it is that you are. If you do start walking down the road to where you start trying to like fake it, like in the gaming world, for example, and I'm not picking on gamers, but I'm just pointing something out that I notice. So on gaming channels, and this is typically with like younger gamers, you'll see gamers trying to imitate other large gamers. So instead of playing the game and doing their thing like they would do it, they're trying, and it's obvious that they're trying to imitate like, you know, Mark Pyler or somebody. And when they're doing that, what they're doing is they're building their personality around somebody else instead of letting themselves come through. And unfortunately, that just doesn't work out. And what will ultimately end up working out for that person is that person's going to get exhausted by trying to act like that other content creator. And eventually they're going to come apart, and they're going to have to just be themselves. And that's when that person will end up getting a better response than trying to act like that, you know, other content creator. Yeah. So things to keep in mind when it comes to, you know, how it is that you're presenting yourself.
You really have to find your unique proposition. And the thing is, like, it doesn't have to be like light years different than other people. You just have to find the thing that you have that connects with an audience. Like I think the biggest thing, people seem to think that they have to connect with the entire world. I got to make content that's going to get millions of views and millions of subscribers. And that's really not the way to think. You have to think about how you're going to connect with one person. But the thing is, once you realize how you can connect with that one person, there are millions of those people, of that one person. You know, everybody has similar interests and stuff, but you just have to find the people that have the similar interests, the people that like the way that you deliver content. You know, like I'm a very abrasive person to a lot of people because of the way that I'm just very forward and to the point. And sometimes I don't maybe deliver my opinion in a positive way to some people, but I'm totally fine with that. They can go find people that they feel deliver it the way they need it to be delivered. I'm not going to change how I deliver based on that, because there are people that love the way that I deliver. They appreciate the honesty. They appreciate the bluntness that I have. And also what you were saying is kind of a testament to Roberto Blake's make 100 crappy videos. Just make content and you will start to see something that you like about yourself that's coming out. And like Roger said, you just got to be yourself. Be 100. I call it unapologetically you. Don't apologize for who you are. Don't apologize because you have a lisp. Don't apologize because you have something in, well, maybe if you have something in your teeth, but if you have something physically wrong. I mean, look at one of the biggest streamers in the world is a streamer with Tourette syndrome. And she's one of the biggest in the world because she didn't think about the Tourette's. She just did what she wanted to do in her way. So you just have to put your content out there as you, 100% you, and not worry about other people, because you will attract people based on your personality. There's an audience for everybody out there. I promise. The most boring, mundane people can grow big audiences because they just put themselves out there.
Yep. Yeah, really quick. One Mighty R says ads pay better than views do. It depends on the views, and it depends on what you're bringing attention to in those views. So in a lot of cases, like I know I have videos that I make way more on compared to the actual ads themselves that play on the videos. So I can definitely say that the views in that situation pay a lot more than, like, substantially more than the actual ads do. Let's see here. So as we keep scrolling down, we've got Deo saying that they love your directness, David.
Thank you, Deo.
And,
Deo is, in our community?
There was another one that I was going to address here, and I can't seem to find it. So Chiba Gaming is a super chat that I missed. I want to cover this really quick. Says, ever since using tips, my channel has gained over 1,000 subscribers, but as a gaming channel, I'm afraid to switch content. How can I transition to a new idea? So if you mean you're wanting to play a different game, then just start playing that game and just understand that some of your current audience isn't going to cross over, but you will grow a new audience in time. And if you can, try to find a bridge of some kind in terms of like a commonality between the games that you're switching to for now. If you're trying to just go a completely different direction with the channel, it has nothing to do with gaming, then in that situation, just take the plunge. But before you take the plunge, look at your current channel and think to yourself, okay, I've got 1,000 subscribers over here, and this channel is like going, do I want to completely change direction here, or do I want to continue letting this channel be what it is, but I'm going to start a new channel for the new idea that I have? You want to, kind of balance that out as well. Rising Vibes says, thanks for dropping knowledge on us. I will get monetized this year. Just want to put that out there for manifestation. LOL. No, it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, so here's the thing. It's going to come down to the content you put out and the decisions that you make around it and how much you're paying attention to how people are responding to what it is that you're doing. You can absolutely do that this year or faster. You just have to make sure that you're, putting out content at a pace that's going to allow you to get data back fast enough to where you can learn from it. And you have to make sure that you're paying attention in your analytics to how people are responding to what it is that you're doing, so that you can make sure that you can, modify with every video that you upload, so that you can fast track that happening. So with that said, we are rolling up on midnight right here. So I'm going to go ahead and say, David, thank you for hopping on the stream today. Owen and Luria, thank you guys for hopping on as well. And everybody that's been hanging out in the chat, thank you. I hope you learned something today. Mods, thanks for holding it down as always. And another thing that I want to mention is when you are, like when this stream's finished, and there's some other people live right now too. I think like Daryl Eves, I think, is live right now. So if you guys want to hop over there, you can. Hold on, Daryl Eves, I believe. I'll drop a link here if he is. But one of the things that I was going to say, yeah, he is. So I'll drop a link right here. He's sharing some awesome information over there. So definitely another live on Daryl's channel. Yeah, so go over there and hang out in his stream just to continue, more YouTube information. The cool thing, is if you're not familiar with Daryl, is like he works with like Mr. Beast and all these other like high level creators. So his perspective is like really high level. So if you want information like that, definitely head over there and and check him out. But anyway, like with all the information that we share, there can be times where it might seem like it's a little bit overwhelming, especially if you're just getting started. So because of that, I encourage you to pick like a thing or two and just focus on that thing or two over this next week until we meet up again next week, so that you can not get too caught up in all of the things. Just focus on trying to improve like a thing or two at a time, so that you can fully understand those those improvements that you're making, so that you can try to get those gains as fast as you can. So again, thank you everybody for hanging out. Hope you have an awesome rest of your week, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Dr. Ello saying Creators Guild team represent. Hey, we're still live. Hey, how'd you like your intro? Here, I'm going to play that again really quick while people are leaving. How'd you like that? Here.
When it comes to making great looking content, our next guest will take you to new heights. The impartial geek, David Foster.
That probably sounds cool. Headphones on. Does it?
It does. That bass kicks in. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, Roberto was here today, but this is Roberto's, and I'm just gonna play like while everybody's leaving. I'm just gonna play these. Yeah, so like this is Roberto's.
At last, the Sith Lord of YouTube, Roberto Blake.
Did he do the voiceover for you for that?
No. Like I hopped on Fiverr for all these voiceovers. This one's Brian G's. I don't know if you've heard this one.
To help you stake your claim and amplify your message on YouTube, I bring you the one, the only, Brian G. Johnson.
My brother's, because he's stuck in Mexico.
Señoras y señores, mi hermano de la misma madre que está en estos momentos atrapado en México, Nimmin.
Oh, that is awesome.
And this is Daniel Batal.
This just in. We just got notice that a special guest is now beaming in straight from Air Force One. I present to you Daniel Batal.
These are so fun. Yeah, so I still have to make one for Benji because he hops on on a regular basis. So basically, the people that hop on a regular basis is who I'm making them for. So Benji hops on a regular basis, so I'm still making one for him. And I'll probably make one for Daryl as well, something epic for when he comes on as well. And I need an updated one for my brother. So once he isn't in Mexico anymore, that he can, that I can have something else for him. But I think that's funny though, with Spanish, just because he's, stuck down there.
No, that's great. That's really cool that you're doing that. Cause that's like, I don't know, that's unique. Nobody else does that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So with StreamYard, so basically how they have that sharing feature here now with the video files here, let me,
I'll share. I'll never get out of Mexico.
Oh, he's here right now. Oh, okay, with D. Yeah. So here, let me. I'll pull one in really quick. So since you can share the videos here inside of StreamYard easily now, man, where is that video? I'm also going to eventually, over time, I'm going to make a like a video thing for everyone as well. Yeah, this is the sharing option, video sharing option.
Check.
Roberto Blake, you're on screen. We're still live, by the way. We just shut it down.
It's easy to see what you need. It's attention from me. I'll give you the shout. Get back on the grind and you'll be down for the count. Trying to breathe. Your favorite is me. Now you hate with the diss. All of that hair hanging there like a chick. Man, give me a break. You're standing too close to the camera like Nick. Where is the claim that you say Bill Mora is hate? Call me a thief with the titles you hate. I taught you to rank. You seem to forget it. I hit it and quit it. And you try to walk in my wake. I'm tossing you weight. Giving you shine. Giving you clout by doing this with my time. It's what I'm about. Why am you hide? You come from my console, but now you're denied. You wanna throw shade. It's too late. I already got it made. You wanna bring hate. Hit the road, hater, cause I'm not phased.
If you're messing with G, you're messing with me. The name is Nimmin, I'll bend in a knee. Disturbing the peace, I'll come back into battle and murder a beat. I heard you eat worms like a bird, like a tree. Just like these words of defeat. I think Beanie should draw you and make you a T. They're waiting on me, who's waiting on you? If it wasn't for Johnson, you wouldn't have views or a clue. You wouldn't know what to do. The only extremes I see is your food. This is just weak, yes, I mean to be rude. Change of your scene, technique, everything about you and the future you seek. It's bleak, I don't mean to allude to the fact that you racked up a debt with the best in this feud. You just got wrecked by the crew.
You wanna so throw shit.
It's what?
It's
you
so
like
good.
It?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so basically Daniel did his diss track on Brian called like Brian G's like stole my ideas or whatever. And then Brian he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a diss track, and he sent me like this like verse, and I was like, oh come on, dude. I was like, you can do better than that. So I like wrote like a whole thing and found the song, ended up putting the whole thing together. It's funny. But yeah, it turned out really cool. And what's funny is and we're still live, just as a reminder here. Just for anybody.
Oh, you mean so I don't say like
we're like normal
that wildly offends people so they can just cancel me?
Yeah, we're in normal like chill after the stream mode, but we're still live. So
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, but one of the things that I thought was funny is like we're not even like we don't even make music videos and stuff like that. But the effort that we put into that, even though it wasn't a ton, still, like if music channels can't be inspired by that, like if you're a music channel and you're not at least doing that, considering that's not even what we do, like if you're not at least doing that, then you can't complain like if things aren't working out, right?
At that level. By the way, Zen Buster Music merch sample came in. I am going to like move the panda like higher up on the chest because I see like the issue with that being in frame. So like redesign coming soon. But yeah, I've got Zen Buster merch now.
Nice. Is the merch available on the site?
Zenbuster.com. Yeah.
Nice.
Prints. Nice. iPhone case. All
are the ones that you are using for the music? Hold on.
Didn't you end up using Epidemic Sound for the music?
For what?
For the Brian G. Johnson rap battle.
Yeah. What let's see here. Zenbuster Clothing. For the music, is this? Do you have your art from Spotify on these?
Not yet. That's like I'm still working on
the fish. I think that's one of them. The codfish.
Yeah, the yin yang fish. Yeah, that's that's one of them. So yeah, that one's out. The rest of them are coming. I know you want the Anubis one from Dreamwalker. I know you want that. I know you want the one with the samurai head from the Traveler. So that's coming. And now that we've got the Zodiac drop, because I know you probably saw on the music side that the Zodiac drop happened. So like I think 6 of the 12 tracks of the Zodiac are out. That like some of that stuff is coming. So that's gonna be like really, really dope. I'm really proud of that and the way that they came out.
Dude, that stuff, like when I look at the album covers on your Spotify, holy cow. Yeah, those are
dude, the
dope.
amount of time and effort I put into the research for that and for the artwork for the thumbnails and the After Effects animation, it's like people don't realize that like I'm actually taking this music brand like dead serious. Like it's like for me, it may be a hobby, but it's like I don't play around. I'm coming at this like I'm a Silver Blade play button music channel now. That's why I think it will become one. I don't think it'll happen like this year. I mean, it could, but it's like because music could always. But I'm coming at it like that now, putting in the work now.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. I'm going to end the stream here. So if anybody's been hanging out listening to the side conversation, we're out of here. So have an awesome rest of your week, and we will catch you next Saturday. Thanks for hanging out.